You have in the night when you clench your fist tight. Terror and fright overwhelm you, dispatch your locked doors. Prayers are poured, knees on the floor trying to settle the score with blood from raising your wrist. Don't even try to resist, cause this hunger persists. On the souls of my enemies I subsist.
Everybody in the back room spinning up, don't remember what you're asking for. And everybody in the front room stripping out, you left your bottle at the door. Is everybody in the back room spinning up, don't remember what you're asking for. And everybody in the front room stripping out, you left your bottle at the door.
And we are live.
Yo.
Oh, wait.
It's an Elsewhere podcast.
There you go.
Is that right?
It is an Elsewhere podcast. Well, I hope so. Otherwise, I'm in the wrong place.
Did I get the inflection right?
Yeah, we're pretty damn close. Almost spot on. Y'all, Skullz isn't here. He's taking his cat to the vet. He's at the vet right now. He broke his cat. He didn't. The cat broke itself, but he's trying to fix it, so.
That's not how she worded it to me in private, by the way.
That's not how I worded it to everybody in public. I posted it on Instagram.
Oh. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, I was like, hey, more behind-the-scenes conversation on how the Elsewhere podcast is run. Here's a real-time, lifetime conversation between the hosts about what's going on tonight.
That's all right. I'm here, though. I'm here. It's okay.
Well, anyway. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a good evening. It's Monday. Right?
Yes.
Which means I worked all day and it's hot in here and, one of those wonderful things. But we're here with Wolfsevenmusic, a.k.a. Michael. Here he is.
What's up, everybody? How is everyone doing? Glad you're here. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
No, I'm thrilled to have you. And here's the thing. I'm going to start this off by saying something very specifically. I'm not going to get into too many details. Most people are aware. But if you guys haven't figured it out, all of the graphics you see on the channel, on the live, on the promos, the videos, the whole 9 yards, Wolf does those for me. For us, for the channel, for the platform. He puts all of them together. He makes them look badass. He makes sure I get them on time. He never hesitates to, get right on them, even if it's early.
You said don't do anything on Father's Day, so I did something at 12:30 at night. Technically, it was today.
But I mean, I can't tell you enough how much that means, especially, I don't know how to do it myself. I work and, I'm trying to put things together and it just takes a huge burden off of me. And with never a complaint, always, you're always there to help. I can't thank you enough. It means everything. I appreciate you. And if nobody has told you that lately, I really do appreciate you.
No, I know you do, and you make it very clear to me, and I appreciate that you appreciate it. I think this kind of started because I really like what you guys are doing, and I figured why not be a part of it, I really didn't know how to do any of this stuff before I started releasing my own music. I've been just teaching myself everything because I personally want to try to be as independent as I can. So I want to be able to do all these things for myself if I have to, which is kind of how I started, teaching myself how to use Adobe and do all these different promos and stuff. So in a way, making stuff for you is really just practice for me to make my own stuff.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I'm happy to be a guinea pig. And here's the thing. And let me just, and I'm diving into this aspect of it because it's obviously the aspect I actually have knowledge about because it directly deals with me and with elsewhere, with the community, with the platform, with myself personally. So I get to say something about this and have full knowledge because I'm involved in most aspects, right? The thing is like, I'll just tell everybody. And by the way, I'm going to do this real quick before I start into my tirade here. Is it a tirade if I'm not mad? I don't know.
No, it's a tangent.
Oh, okay. I'm going to start on my hold on. No, he doesn't mind, by the way, Wolf.
Who's that?
What we were talking about earlier.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He says, as long as it's short, sweet, and gets the info across, he doesn't care.
All right, cool. I appreciate that.
But what's up, Chill Rock? DK, Sarah's here. Thank you, Sarah, my mod. Iron Comics, who was like complaining. The first thing he said was a complaint. Thanks for that. Appreciate you.
That's just his way.
Papa Shoot. Aggie's in here. Casey's in here. Wolf, you're in there. That's nice. Wallflower's in here.
Not anymore. I'm actually outside smoking now, but I was.
Sherry's in here. Shout out everybody. Jared, I see you. I appreciate everybody that's coming through. It means a lot because, like I said, I really, really, really wanted to get him on here. It's been way too long. He should have been on here a while ago, but now we have a lot to talk about. So my tangent is that not once have I ever had someone say, because I get the guests like thumbs up, and I've never had them be like, the fuck is that? Almost if they say anything other than cool, right? They're like, whoa, in a positive manner. Hey, Topper. So they love it. Everybody loves it. People ask me all the time, and I always give your name out. But there's not been one that hasn't, like, nailed it. And the thing that makes it stand out, in my personal opinion, aside from just the quality of it, is the stuff that you do in the background. Right? The things you put in the background of those photographs.
Yeah, I try to do, like, I mean, obviously, like, you usually give me all the information I need, but I like to dig in a little bit. And if it's like somebody that I'm not real familiar with, I'll start following their social media, do a bunch, I try to do as much stocky research as I can to put, like, relevant things to their brand or where they're from and stuff like that in there. Because I think those little details make it special,
Well, for example, on the one that's coming up for Thursday, Chris from 307 really appreciated that the mountains were in the background, and I didn't even notice.
Yeah,
but he saw. So the people that you're doing it, the people that you're representing, in other words, like, the guests that are coming on, these artists, content creators, whoever they may be, they appreciate the attention to detail because it's just a piece of them, right? It's just more representative of them, and it gives them a little bit more respect and like kind of like a nod to them in that way, which I think is super cool, instead of just like slapping their face up there.
Right.
Like ours.
Hey, you guys can send me new pictures anytime you want. I will be happy to.
We'll
do
leave
whatever
him
you
like
need.
that, and then I'm gonna get like a glamour shot, and he could be like the magician circle, and then I will be like the queen She-Ra, glamour shot, airbrushed.
Professionally photoshopped cat and the janky ass Skullz.
Yes. Well, we got to keep something a little bit ratchet around here. That's how we roll. And
yeah, it's not. You know what? It keeps it. I don't know if this is the right way to say this, but it's almost like when you have a little bit of like that, you have some kind of like imperfection and nuance and things like that. It makes it more real. It makes it more down to earth. It makes it more relatable.
And there's a question. Bill asked, how weird was it to make a background with your face on it?
It was very strange, and
well, you did substitute yourself with the dude from CSI, so it couldn't have been too hard.
I didn't say this to you actually in private, but that is the first time anyone's ever said that to me.
Well, I don't know how.
Well, here's the thing. I All right, I have actually like an embarrassing amount of like professionally done photographs, and it's not because of like vanity or something like that, or even because of like my music. My daughter's mother, or I'm sorry, my son, my son's mother is like world renowned, like international award winning photographer, and we still have like a really good relationship and co-parent and stuff. So anytime we're like in the same area, or like we'll do like things with the whole family, like it's kind of a weird little like functional dysfunctional, it's like my family with like my kids' mothers, and then my stepson and my girlfriend were kind of like, what it's like if you took like white trash but then you put it in like Canada and everybody was nice or something like that. So like we get along. But anyway, so I have like a way too many, and the picture that I use for this is something I really haven't used in anything before, but I wanted something that I haven't used because I think the stuff I use is like overused, you know what I mean?
I get you. No, I get it completely.
So I was like, screw it.
No,
We'll
I
try
just,
this.
Will Wheaton,
It's
yeah,
hilarious.
I can see that
Because
too.
when you put the GIF under it, I really do look like just a little bit younger version.
Yeah, and I actually had to like
Hilarious.
scroll it because at first I thought you were trolling me. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, so you didn't
No.
want your picture on there, so you like just slapped a picture of him, right?
No, it's me.
I was kind of like, so yeah, for a little bit, and then I was like, wow, I don't think he's kidding.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in general, though, like to answer your original question, yes, it was actually really weird, which it's weird that it was weird because, I mean, I make my own promotional stuff all the time. But I also, and I'm sure people notice this, like, I'm not, whether it's like full music videos or just promotional stuff, I really am not big on like having myself in anything. And there's not like really any particular reason for it. It's just like, honestly, it's just a pain in the ass to like film stuff all the time to make like, you know, I mean, promos are like, they take me long enough as it is, usually just because of the type of like software and stuff that I use.
Right.
So to then like incorporate like recording videos, syncing them up with me, like playing guitar and shit, it's honestly just a pain in the ass. That's why I don't do it.
I gotcha. No, I gotcha.
So, yeah.
I mean, when I saw it, that's the first thing I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, you're trolling me. I'm shocked nobody has said it before, but hey, I'm happy to be the first. There you go. But no, I mean,
I think it's a very handsome picture.
no, it's a decent looking picture. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like, I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah,
Like,
not live.
Ha, that's funny. You got jokes, okay.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, honestly, it is a good looking picture. I just was like, but you can't use a celebrity's picture as yours.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, and I would do the same. I'd like slap Ricky Lake on there or something for me, but it's just you can't do that. So, anyway, that's
All
kind of
me,
funny.
sister.
Bill, why you keep giving me shit? I don't understand. I'm not. I
What,
didn't know.
what are they on about? I'm not looking at it right now. What is everybody on about?
He says that I'm drooling over the sexy wolf.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just like.
I
Why
mean-
why are you gonna be like that? A little bit of Luke Bryant. Okay, I can see that. Will Wheaton. What's his name?
Oh, actually, you know what? I have heard Luke Bryant though. I think the problem is if you get a profile Luke Bryant, he has like no chin, and then it's like it's not very flattering for people to tell me that I look like him.
The chinless dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's call you like anti-chin boy.
Try to keep the beard thick.
Me too. Take some work.
Yeah. Well, I don't know anything about that. I know nothing.
I don't know why I said it. It just came out. It works.
That's all good.
But yeah, by the way, guys, like I said before, and I'll mention it one more time, Skullz is not here because his cat is at the emergency vet. It was dragging its feet behind. They said it either broke its legs, possibly or leg, or there might be a blood clot. He doesn't know, so he was taking it to the ER. He had just got there when we were talking. However, we did make sure to use or get a new screen, you know, specifically for him. So
Oh, I sent you one.
I know it's on the screen right now.
Oh, I'm not. I saw. Hold on. Oh, did you do that in the beginning? I didn't even see that.
No.
Oh, okay. Now we're right. Okay.
So, in tribute to the poor cat, please send prayers and happy thoughts to the poor cat.
Yeah.
Who, you know,
all joking aside, I do hope the cat is okay.
yeah, but it's not life threatening as far as he's aware, and he's going to jump on as soon as they're done at the vet. So, anyway, there's that part. I love that picture.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
I was gonna say nobody has said a thing about it, so I assume they don't like it. So that's cool. It's cool. I liked it.
I thought it was good.
Is it right?
It was easy too.
I don't think anybody's seen it. Maybe they're not looking. I don't know. If not, that's no big deal.
They'll figure it out.
See, that's the fun. We're having fun with graphics today, people. But anyway, so the other thing is that you make these promo videos, which could potentially be random. Like sometimes you're like, hey, here's a promo video. I had no clue it was coming. I'm like, oh, okay. But
yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know. I just, the way it actually kind of goes back to like even just like the kind of more basic graphics that I do just for like the thumbnails and live screens and stuff. It's like, I feel like if you're going to do something, whatever it is, that you should do the best you can do, and I think, again, like I really enjoy not just like the community, but I think like the way that you guys do this, I say guys, well, Skullz isn't even here, but
yeah, fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. The way that you do this, it's just so like, it's just genuine and down to earth. Look, there is so much bullshit out there between social media, YouTube, whatever. There is so much bullshit. There is so much fake stuff. There is so much, and look, I'm not a hater because I understand there's a lot of stuff that people have to do if they want to feed into an algorithm and grow their brand. And I don't hate on anybody for doing what they have to do.
I know,
but
I completely agree.
I also, though, find it very refreshing to go somewhere and watch things that are just real, that are just people having a conversation about whatever, about life, about, I mean, obviously, when you have certain guests, you want to keep things in a certain realm of whatever it is that their interest, or if they're trying to promote something. But at the end of the day, it's just people sitting down having a conversation, essentially.
Yeah, getting to know people as people rather than, be defined only by what you put out there.
Right, exactly. I mean, and I think even you and I have discussed it privately. There are even, artists, independent artists that I listen to and that, I'll invest time and even money in, where sometimes it's not so much even the music that I'm so like enamored by. It's the way that they do things, or maybe it's even just their story of how they got to where they are that I respect.
Right.
And I think it's important that you do that for people, to give people a chance to get, who they really are out into like the public eye. Because I mean, I haven't looked in a long time because I just don't look at these kind of things. But like the last time that I looked into it, I think there's 40,000 songs get released worldwide every week.
That's insanity. Because
So
statistically, like, and here's God's honest question. And you don't have to elaborate, like, you don't have to respond now. You can wait till after. I'm just saying, I don't want to forget it because I know I will.
Right.
In all honesty, statistically, at some point, someone else is releasing a song that's exactly like yours, sounds like your, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the same time. Like, that's,
right.
Like, how is it there's 40 unique songs? There's not.
Well, and really, to me, what I think of more, like when I think of that number and just like the statistics of like being heard and getting your, trying to grow yourself, it's that even somebody, say somebody is just an absolute, just virtuoso. I mean, maybe they've never done anything professionally, but whatever. Maybe they just have like this God-given gift of a voice or something, and then they record that music and they put it out in the world. If there is so much to sift through to find it, it really doesn't even matter how good they are,
Right.
because they have to be found. And so again, I think that's why it's so important to have platforms like this one, where you give people a chance to get to know people. Because again, at the end of the day, sometimes some of the people that I support, it's not even I'm a fan of the music per se. Sometimes it's just that I'm a fan of the person.
Right. No, I completely agree. You know, and I'm never going to be the person who's going to be like, oh my gosh, your music's the best in the whole wide world, if I don't believe it. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Right.
I mean, I might be kinder and step around it a little bit more. However, and that's the thing, and I say this recently in the last, hey, Bridget, welcome back. Well, welcome in, back in, you know what I'm saying. What's up, Venice? And there's just an oversaturation, like where quantity over quality, people just like banging out boom, 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 one after another after another. And it's like nothing ever kind of sits and marinates and grows on you, because there's another one, you know, there's another one. And I'm not talking about, like, I'm talking about like within, if I follow 6 artists and like 3 of them do that, do you see what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
you know, when someone kind of lets a song ride for a little while, you know, and it kind of grows on you, and it gives a little bit of mystery or like patience, kind of like waiting for something to start instead of always being able to access it. It's like if you go to a movie theater, you have to wait for it to start. You can't just like push play whenever you walk into the theater. Yeah. Right? It's kind of the anticipation. All of that builds up. It gives it a little bit of a spark. It gives it a little bit more quality.
And, you know, I think you hit on a really good point, though, too, with that, because I think that's why a lot of people do things the way they do them, whether it be artists themselves or like the fan base, because you know, we live in a world now where everything is just right at the tip of your fingers, and people don't wait for things. And oftentimes, you know, I even find myself, even being somebody that's, you know, 40 years old, and I lived a life before cell phones, and I lived life before like on-demand television and stuff. I still find myself having, you know, experienced, you know, culture and society being what it is, especially in the realm of technological innovation, to where I'm impatient about things that I would have, when I was 15, I would have had more patience over.
Right. But
you know, I think it feeds into that. But I also, my point though is that, like, I totally agree with you. I think if people give themselves a chance to experience that anticipation,
yes,
and it's worth it. It's always, things are always a little bit better when there is that build up to them than they are when they're like snap your fingers and here it is.
Because it's not like, well, there's another one. It's more like, ooh, I'm excited. I want to hear something. It's that desire to hear it is different when it's not. It's like getting the meal that your favorite meal, right? When you don't eat it at home every day, and you go to the restaurant and you order it, and you're just like so excited, like, yes, like once a month you treat yourself to Chinese food, like I do.
Right.
And so when it comes, you're like, yes, let's go. It's exciting. You know, and you earned it. You're like, yeah, I've been waiting on this, and you appreciate it more. I feel like there's more appreciation. The other flip side of that has to do with, in my personal opinion, and like I said, I've said this multiple times in the last couple weeks or so during podcasts and things. I keep talking about oversaturation. There's an oversaturation in every space that has anything to do with a streaming platform.
Right.
Because now everybody, including the people that are whack as hell and just bad at what they're trying to do, they get to put out whatever they want. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you can love someone anyway. That's not what I'm saying. I don't want to sift through. Okay, my favorite part of American Idol were the auditions, right? Not now, in the beginning, because they showed all the really bad ones. Really bad ones. Those were my favorite. Like the really great ones and the really bad ones. And now they're all like, oh no, everyone's great. No, they just
she bang. She bang. She bang.
Or when they're like, and you're like, oh my God. And like you see the judges' faces, and it's fun. But when
Right.
you allow them, I don't need American Idol, right? I can just go on YouTube and then I can spam everyone I see with it. And then
Right.
hopefully people will be like, oh, well, yay for doing you. It's a false sense of success, I guess.
Right.
And a lot of people like to be kind. People love to be kind, and I do too. However, I don't like to be kind in a way that hurts someone in the long run. So, for example, my kid hates me for it, but when she walks out and I'm like, no, you're not wearing that. Like, it's not happening. Well, of course I'm like, pull this. I'm like, you don't understand. Like, that literally makes, like, there are things I don't want to be seeing, and I'm seeing them, and no, it's not flattering. It's not flattering.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
not trying to be mean. Or when she used to, and she now hates that she did this, but when she was like 12, she was obsessed, or like 13, with pulling her hair into the tightest ponytail you've ever seen. Like, it almost like face lifted her.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say like ripping her face off.
Yeah, like up at the top, like, oh, this tight pony. I'm like, stop, because I'm like, it's not flattering for you. Don't do it. And I'm gonna do it. And she wear these big, like, 90s hoops, y'all, like 90s hoops. And I'm like, no, honey. I said, but it's okay. Let me take a couple pictures, because when you're older, I'm so bringing this out as ammunition. And now she's like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I can't.
Yeah,
Like, it's the
teenagers
same
are
thing.
fun.
I'm just trying to say it in a way that's like, look, it's not because I think you're an ugly person, that you're ugly as a person, that you look ugly. I'm saying this is not flattering. This is not for you. This hairstyle is not it, honey. Like, it's not it. Or, those pants that, like, like, make you look like you exploded. I wear those, I'm like, oh crap. That's not for me. I shouldn't be wearing it. And if people are like, oh, but you look so great, that's
Right.
not necessarily always a positive thing. And encouraging people, especially, and I'm going to be honest, especially with music, not to not keep trying, but to tell someone that, oh my, yeah, this is really great, when it's not, is not constructive criticism. That's
No.
blowing smoke up someone's ass. Even if it's to be kind, it's not kind when they realize there's no way in the hell that they've got it unless they either fix something or maybe they never will. It's not, and that's my opinion. People can think I'm a horrible person because I don't care.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that and you'll have to forgive me too, because you were talking about tangents earlier. My mind goes so many places, but
Thank you, Wallflower. It sets them up to fail. Perfect.
Yeah, and I think that, like, being disingenuous works both ways. I think that there are people who are disingenuous with bad intentions, and there are people who are disingenuous with good intentions. Now, the way I see it, whether they're good or bad, being disingenuous is being disingenuous. And either way, it's not helpful. And I mean, I completely agree with you, especially when it comes to now, and it gets weird too, because with any art form, there is a level of subjectivity. But here's something I'll say. I have been a musician for like 30 years, and there is a line where you get to something where, even with art, there are objective things that are good or bad, even with art, especially in music, because even if somebody wants to listen to something bizarre that I'm not into, I don't know. I'm not going to say any examples, because nothing's coming to the top of my head. But somebody wants to listen to some bizarre style of music or something that is, to me, like, just awful on my ears. There's still a difference between that music that somebody enjoys being mixed correctly and being mixed incorrectly before it's released. That's an objective thing. Now, there are stylistic choices that people can make with their mixing and mastering, of course. However, I do not agree with someone who says that, like, art is completely subjective. I do not completely agree with that. I think there are forms of art where they're probably more true than others, but I think within the format of music, that there are objective things that are good or bad. I mean, if somebody sings and they're out of key, they're out of key. That is not subjective.
Well, here's the
they're
thing.
out of key.
Let me put it this way. I can tell you, and I've actually looked it up in the past, just one of those nights where you look up too much for no apparent reason.
I don't do that at all.
There's scientific research. It's the same as when you're looking up scientific research as to why people are attractive. What makes somebody attractive, it doesn't matter who you are.
Symmetry.
There is a specific thing, and I'm not just saying symmetry, but there's just these things, right? And it's scientifically proven. And now there could be one-offs, there could be 10 offs, there could be 10,000 offs, right? But when it comes to this, it's a majority, right? And it's the same with music. So you might have, let's just say someone has a hearing thing where they hear things differently, and so something actually resonates with them. Or some people actually, I do know that there are people out there that do music that specifically is targeted for people who are deaf, so that the vibrations actually kind of come off a specific way in order so that they can like kind of enjoy music more so than since they can't actually hear it, right? So I know, but that music in and of itself might not come across to someone who can hear perfectly well, the majority, right, as good music. It doesn't mean that it's bad. That is like the gray area right there when it's specifically targeted. But the 1 off, 10 off, 1,000 off, 10,000 off, it's still scientifically proven that specific frequencies, specific keys, specific types of, musicality put together sounds better, feels better, is better. It just is, right? It's not saying that someone is bad per se, but if they're not, to sit there and tell someone who is not hitting the keys, is not able to, to pull it off, is not helpful. It's actually, it's setting them up to fail, like Wallflower said. And it's not mean, because, how you do it is you can be kind about how you deliver that information. But if they come in front of anybody, right, that is a critic, and by the way, everyone that's a listener, you're a critic. That's what you're there for. The entire point of making music is to put it out there. Once you put it out there, it's the listener's job to judge it and to rate it and decide whether they like it or not. So by putting music out, people are opening themselves up for that criticism. And you have the right to say, this is not good. You don't have to like it just because it's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And, you just hit on two things that just came to mind. I looked, I got on some weird rabbit hole one night about like soundtrack, and you're absolutely correct that there is actually a science to like sound and how it can invoke emotions and things like that. And I highly suggest, I don't have any links, but I highly suggest people check out. You can look up both like movies, TV shows. I think you can find them probably on YouTube where they cut the soundtrack out, and sometimes it's just clips. And let me tell you, it is awful. You don't realize how much, like when you're watching like a movie or something, the music, no matter how passive and like just ambient it could be in a particular scene or something, you have no idea how much it actually affects how you feel about what you're looking at until you take it away. You take it away, and I'm telling you, in fact, there was not to get off track, but there was recently somebody did some kind of a weird study where they were showing how even the news now, which has been this way for a while, but if you don't really notice it, and I certainly don't notice because I never watch the news, but the news, like if you look at any of the mainstream news, and by the way, no, I promise I'm not getting into any like political thing or anything like that, but if you watch any mainstream news channel, they have music, and they have, if there's some like story that they want you to like feel some intense emotion about, the music reflects it. Now, the weird thing is with some of these mediums, you don't even really think about it, but if you take it away, you notice it's not there. So it shows you that even if media corporations are incorporating a soundtrack to the news to elicit emotion, it just shows you how important sound is in general.
Yes.
But the other thing that you just made me think of too, I've told people this And actually, I've had people tell me this. I've had other artists bigger than me tell me this, and I've told other people who have had, kind of inquisitive things about what I'm doing and where I'm going and stuff. I've had other artists say that, just like what you were talking about, or kind of in line with that, parallels with that, is that not everybody's going to make it. Yes. And when I say make it can be, I mean, obviously there's degrees to making it. All right. Like, for me, I would consider I've made it when I can support my family with
that's
music.
What Skullz,
right?
That's his literal definition of what he wants when it comes to music. What is your ultimate goal? I think it's his immediate goal, his bottom line goal. Like, it has to be above this or nothing. It has to be above this goal line or nothing at all, which is to support, be able to support his family with it. And I understand
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's like my initial, like, objective with things, is that I can do well enough that I can at least pay my bills and feed my family without, having to do anything else for income. Now, either way, my point is that, there's different degrees of it. Some people, as far as make it, but here's the point: not everybody's going to make it.
Right.
However,
really good people, some of them aren't going to make it.
Yes, some of them aren't going to make it because there's a lot more to it, which I've, obviously, me jumping into this almost just over a year ago. I mean, even though I've been a musician, by the way, just so people understand or I can clarify, I've been a musician basically my whole life. But as far as in the realm of recording and releasing original music, I've only been doing that since like April of last year. All right. But there's a lot that goes into it, and it's not enough to just be talented, and it's not enough to, either way, you understand what I mean. But the point is that people have made to me, and that I try to pass on when people look to me, is that you may not make it, but if you keep working, you're going to be farther today than you were yesterday.
Right.
So even if that path or that journey is years or decades, if it's what you want to do, then you should continue on that path. But you have to keep that you have to keep it in your mind very realistically, and you have to be able. And I think it's just as important not only to be genuine with criticism, but you have to be able to take criticism if you're an artist. And you have to be able to distinguish criticism. You have to be able to distinguish stuff that maybe you don't need and stuff you do need, stuff that is subjective criticism and stuff that is objective criticism. You have to learn how to distinguish all those things, and you have to not take any of it personal. There are, what are we at now? Almost 9 billion people on the earth. There's probably a few thousand people who are going to like your music, even if it's fucking trash. You know what I mean? But you have to be able to take that criticism, decipher what of that criticism is actually useful to you, what isn't, and move forward. And if you keep doing that every day, like I said, whether it's a year from now, 10 years from now, whatever your definition of made it is, whether you ever get there, you're going to be a lot closer than if you're sitting on the couch eating Cheetos, watching Netflix all day, waiting for somebody to find you.
Okay, well, here, in that respect, I had something I was going to say, and I think it follows perfectly on that. So let's just say, let's take somebody, for example, let's take Angelina Jordan, y'all. A complete, what would we call it, a virtuoso? Is that it? Is that the right word?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Angelina Jordan, she was a little girl, and she was just an amazing singer, and then she's not little anymore. She was 8, 9 years old, singing just these amazing songs and killing it every single time. She sang I Put a Spell on You when she was under 12, I'll tell you that. And she killed it. Okay? So people obsessively follow her because, I mean, she's an amazing talent. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying she has a huge following. And people, they do react to her because once you react to one, there's 30 more requests. Then there's it's like a rabbit hole you go down. But, so point being is that she's a natural talent. Same as, let's put it this way. Let's say LeAnn Rimes. Anybody who's I know how old y'all are. I know how old almost all y'all are in general in this chat. LeAnn Rimes at 13, right? She had that big hit. Her dad didn't want her to do it. She found it. She did it as the story, at least, right? Amazing talent. However, since she had her breakout, Or even if she's amazingly talented in and of herself, right? They train, they take vocal lessons. Christina Aguilera, okay, I'm not going to use her because she's kind of on my list at this point. Name anybody, okay? Anybody that's just is really good. Okay, Whitney Houston prior to, you know,
right,
her demise. Amazing, natural talent. Voice lessons, practice,
right.
practice,
right.
practice, practice. Not practice, record, release, right? Practice. Right. Vocal coaches, producers, like constant. Try this. No, try it again. No, try it again. They honed it like when people go to practice to play soccer. Right? People go to practice, they practice running, they practice kicking, they practice making goals, they practice basketball, they practice dribbling, they practice offense and defense, they practice shooting, into the hoop. They do all of that because even though you have this talent, you can't just sit on the bench and then jump up and like magically everything happens. That commitment, that work, people think that they can just, okay, so you can put a song together, you can hold a tune, you can throw down some bars. Cool. Now what?
Right.
Now what? What are you doing now? Okay, that was yesterday, and that's how fast this industry moves. That was yesterday. What are you doing to make yourself better today? Right? Because I'm not saying the fans need to hear all of it. It's all in the background. But if you're not every single day practicing and honing your talent and developing it and fine-tuning it, then you're not worth people's time.
Right. Exactly.
I honestly believe that because my daughter used to say, I'm going to be a big dancer. And she doesn't dance. I'm going to be a dancer when I grow up. I want to be a dancer. Oh, okay. So let's get you in dance class. Oh, I'm bored. I don't want to do this. But I'm going to be a dancer when I grow up. You're not. You need to go to dance class. But I don't want to. Okay, so how about we get home and you practice? I just want to watch TV. Like, it's that kind of thing. And I looked at her when she was young, and I looked her right in the face. I said, you're not going to be a dancer unless this is your passion. My daughter does nails now. All day, every day. She markets it. She goes to people's houses and does their nails. She buys all the stuff herself with her profits. She checks out designs. She posts. She's getting 20,000 views on each of her videos on Instagram right now.
Wow.
She's working. But that's her passion. See? Exactly. That's the difference.
You again brought up a lot of really good points. And actually it makes me think too of there's kind of like a dichotomy here too with this, because as an independent artist, and something that I've actually kind of been learning recently, is there has to be balance and realistic perspective. All right, if you have take anybody, whether it's in athletics or it's in music or just about anything, anyone who you could think of who is, like a world-renowned athlete, a world-renowned musician. If you dig into their life, you'll find this was literally like their day, 10, 12 hours a day from the time maybe they were 5 or 6 years old. Like every moment of their life. So that being said...
And to maintain it, not just to get there, but to maintain it, yes.
Right. Constantly trying to find progress. And now here's where I think what I would say though to like other independent musicians, and again, this is not me, I'm not trying to like be preachy because I'm just learning all this stuff myself. You have to find balance with this stuff too, because all right, I will never, as long as I'm doing what I'm doing independently, I will never sound like I'm in a professional studio with award-winning producers, master engineers, coaches. I will never sound like that because I'm not in there.
No, exactly.
And that doesn't mean it's going to sound horrible, but you have to have realistic expectations too with what you have to work with. And then more importantly, for someone like me, I have a family. I have children. I'm actually... And not to go on another thing either. I mean, I'm actually kind of I've been in a window for the last like 6 months where I could focus basically all of my time. I haven't had to pursue anything like vocationally outside of music, so I've been able to just basically focus entirely on music. However, that window's kind of coming to a close, and I'm getting to a point where I'm going to end up having to probably do some work outside of music, just to maintain financial stability. Now that's fine. I'm still going to work on music, but my point is, you really have to learn the balance of all of this stuff too. You have to find I think it's probably in a way more difficult, as an independent artist, not just because of not having like the professional producers and engineers and all that kind of stuff, but it's more difficult because you really have to find your moments to do things where you can progress, or find your moments where it is the right time to release something, or or in some cases, like for me, I have to really learn how, like, the times it's time for me to kind of step back a little bit from it and focus on my family a little bit more, or again, like I said, I'm probably going to have to start working a little bit on the side, and that's okay. But it's all got to be in the picture. You know what I mean? It has to be
like making a budget,
right?
which
right.
I suck at, by the way. Is anybody surprised? Is anyone really surprised?
I give all my money to my girlfriend, and she handles all of that.
Yeah. I would love to, but I don't. But here's the thing, and that kind of circles back a little bit to what we were talking about before. There was a point where you were saying, like, okay, so my point is more, what about, doesn't that kind of refer to the whole oversaturation where you need to find your moments? But how are you found your moments? Cool. How are other people going to hear those moments when it's drowning in all the bullshit you released too? Okay? Just because you threw it onto something, just because you warbled in the shower, does not mean it needs to go out there. Here's an example. Fun fact, y'all. If someone, and I've heard this from multiple artists, this is not coming from me specifically, this is coming from hearing and talking and having conversations either on this podcast or outside of it, and there's Skullz, hi hun. But there are people say, look, you click on their channel, let's just say they're an artist, okay? I'm talking specifically artist, y'all, not like content creator, reactor, like that's not what I'm talking about, live streams, none of that. So their music itself. And you go and you look for their music because I kind of fuck with this person. I think I heard something. Let's go see what else they have. And they have trash. They're already gone, y'all. They're gone. They're not clicking anymore. They're not going to go try and listen to every one of your trash-ass songs. I'm not saying you specifically or anyone specifically, but anybody that's listening.
Oh, I knew you weren't talking about me.
I'm just saying. I'm literally saying. They're not going to listen to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 trash-ass songs. Maybe they're that one saint that will. They're going to click on a couple. They're going to click on your most popular, things like that. And they're going to decide if you're worth looking into anymore. Because anytime I recommend artists to people, I know people do click to a point, right? They're like, well, Kat usually doesn't bring complete trashy people, right? I generally don't recommend people that are complete trash. So there's a reason I'm supporting a song or posting whatever, right?
I feel very privileged at this moment.
I'm just saying. So people will click on it, right? If somebody specifically, I'm going to call someone out in chat. Casey is notorious for that. If I post something, he goes and checks it out pretty much every single time, because he knows that I do find some really good stuff that he might not have heard, and vice versa, right?
Right.
So if he goes, and he's not going to listen to every single song in their entire catalog, he's going to click a couple, and if it's just like, well, shit, I guess the one she posted was a one-off, and he's going to move on. And everybody else, because he's actively doing that because I recommended, therefore he has like a cosign, he'll do it more than the normal person. People are going to click off of everything. You got to keep your catalog open with your moments, those songs that you put the quality into, that actually hit all those marks, that really resonate with people, that pull those emotion, like all of those different things, that's what it needs to have.
Right.
Because if you have those really amazing tracks buried with everything that you could pull out, that you just happen to have slapped down, well, I'm going to work on this later, and it's still on there, you're going to lose, the momentum that you could have had. And that's my opinion.
Right. Yeah. Well, and things are just so much different. I mean, again, I remember when I was a teenager.
Oh, in honor of Skullz, I have to change this. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, okay.
Give me 2 seconds.
You're good. I remember, like, being a teenager, if you heard of something or you heard something on the radio that you liked, you went down to the store, and you basically, to listen to any more of it or to listen to it again, you had to go buy it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And when you found out that somebody was essentially a one-hit wonder,
and the rest of their album was trash, and you're like, I spent $12 on this shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It sucked, but it was like, it is what it is. I actually remember I would take whenever I had opportunities, I would actually take like a cassette and try to record shit off the radio. I guess that's like the first like stealing music, was like recording it on a cassette off the radio.
Yeah, you get the DJ call sign. And like Mix 93.3, here's Ace of Base. I saw the sign. And that would be my would be my tape.
Like the original Napster. But the thing, I think what my point though with it is that now that people don't have to do that, and they're not going to just spend the money anyway and then find out maybe nothing else on it is worth listening to, I think you have to make your music even more worth listening to, because, I mean, quite frankly, most stuff you can hear it for free. So to really put yourself into a position where you can monetize what you're doing, it has to resonate and it has to be quality. Because again, people aren't having to drag themselves down to the to the record store and pick up an album, and then after they've already spent the money, find out that they don't like it. It just doesn't work that way anymore. Everything is here and now, instant. People can, again, pretty much listen. Especially even more so with like YouTube. It's a tool that's there and a platform that's there. So, and it's like it would be kind of ignorant not to use it, but it's essentially that's for a lot of people, they're kind of their first taste of something, and you can get it for free. So if you aren't doing something that people can find a little bit of more value into, invest more time or more money into, they're just going to move on to the next thing, and it's easy to do it. You can do all of it from the comfort of your home without spending any money. So I think it kind of pushes home more your points that you've made about quality, about having quality mates with people, putting in the work to make what you do stand out, because you are wading through so much shit.
Let me just ask something. Okay, so I'm just going to bring a point across. Maybe think of the most famous, let's just say YouTuber, or I don't know TikTok, so I'm not going to say TikToker. I don't fucking know. YouTube content, like the person that you're like, oh, this person's huge on YouTube, right? I'm talking like making actual content. I'm not talking like artists as much.
Right.
And then think about it for a minute. And think about how many times do they post. Now, for example, the one that my daughter's obsessed with, Afmao, who does like Minecraft, everything's screeching, screaming at each other. It drives me crazy. 2:30 almost ever, like 6 days a week, 5 days a week. I get that because she's got 35 million subscribers. Let's take the 35 million off the table. Let's just say anyone that you really like to see. They don't post necessarily content every 30 minutes. They don't post content every day always. Once they hit, they do until they get a big following. And then they tend to post. I'll use an example. Billy Wilkins will be on here on Thursday. He's up and coming. Like his growth is getting ridiculous at this point. Like he's just he's on that upward slope. It's it's going fast. He posts a new video once a week, right?
Right.
Hold on, I gotta sneeze. And I actually muted this time. But he posts once a week, and then he does his lives, and he tries to keep them consistent, but they're not every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day. I get that people are like, well, if I go live 2, 3, 4 times, then I'll hit these different demographics at different times. But what if you go live 4 or 5 times a week, and it's the same time every time? You're going to hit the same demographic, right? Generally.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And so once people start getting bigger and they start getting a following, they put out consistent content on purpose, but they don't do it every single day, because then, well, why not blow off today? Because it'll just be live again tomorrow, right? What's it matter?
Exactly.
You got to build up the urgency. You got to build up the, anticipation. It's everything.
If even just like doing some of this research and stuff I was working on today, like some of the more established, even independent artists, but more established, I know like some of them, they don't really do anything on YouTube but put their music videos on there. So they might not have a video but every few months or a couple times a year.
Correct.
And and again, I mean, it just depends how you want to utilize the platforms. But there's definitely a lot of method to all the madness.
And see, you've been doing music for a long time, and you've been on, actually releasing your original music, like you were saying how long it's been, and you have things on Spotify. I'm gonna tell you something. I don't think I've ever told you this, but I'm just gonna tell you, because honestly, you guys, I believe in being pretty much honest and saying what I want to say, and you know me well enough that it's not going to come off any type of way, but I think it might, and which is why I hadn't said it before. When I first like started like trying to like jump on your music and stuff, and I wasn't quite sure, is this like singing or is it more like guitar? Like I didn't know you at all, right? We had just met, and I remember that you said something, oh, it's on Spotify. Okay, cool. So I go on Spotify, and then I actually look on YouTube, and I look up on YouTube, and I'm like, there's an interview. And then there's like, oh, there's how many listens on Spotify? Like, wait, what? And I was really shocked, because at that time, like, your channel was just started. Like, there was nothing on there, right?
Yeah.
And
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, I saw your numbers outside of YouTube, and sometimes we get tunnel vision, where we really think that like YouTube is the be all end all, and it's not. That lives are the be all end all. By the way, that's in the last year, I've seen live streams jump exponentially 500, 600, 700%. Everybody's doing lives. It's the thing. Even though gamers were doing it, now reactors are doing it, conversations are doing it. Like, it's just a thing. And it's gone crazy because people like what they hear and they want to do it too, and then everybody does it. It's a thing. So I actually, when I first met you and I first looked at your stuff, and your channel was like absolutely like it, like, I don't know, like 10 people, I don't know.
Bare bones.
Yeah. Absolutely nothing. And I looked, and you had like 100,000 on something. I can't even remember what it was. And
it
I was
was
like,
probably my Spotify monthly.
Yeah. And I was like, wait, what? Huh? Like, it didn't compute with me. And I'm like, I've never heard anything you've put out. What do you mean there's 100,000? 100,000. Right. And there are people that put out really badass music. I'm sorry. Rachel doesn't get 100,000 spins on Spotify. And we love Rachel, right?
Right.
So I'm just like, the fuck? It shocked me. And it made me go, wow, apparently the way I look at things, like, well, if you don't have anything out there and I can't see your views, then you must not have anything, is bullshit. And it actually made me stop and kind of rethink how I looked at stuff. Yeah, because, for example, I'm going to use another example. And the reason I can use these as examples is because these people have already agreed to be guests on the podcast. Versus, right? He's got 60,000 Instagram followers. He's got like what? How many YouTubers?
I don't remember. It's pretty big though.
It's not
but not
compared.
like,
Nothing compared.
yeah.
I'm
I
looking it
say
up.
big, yeah, but I think of compared to me.
Well,
'Cause
yeah, look at
everything on
compared to
YouTube.
me, like honestly, because I haven't even hit 14,000. He's got 14,000, 60,000 Instagram, and he's got millions of views.
Yeah.
And his big views, and here's another thing that I actually am not big on. I'm not on TikTok. I'm never on TikTok.
Yeah, I don't use it either.
But it's a really, and I remember hearing other people were talking about this, and they're like, look, as an artist, you've got to be on TikTok.
Right.
And I get that, like, versus on his YouTube, he doesn't have that many, but he's got these viral videos. Like his Instagram, where he does the ISIS remix, and he drops, he, by the way, speaks 4 languages. He drops other languages into his bars, right? He drops it in Italian, French, Spanish, and English. Like, come on. And fluent, right? It's not like canned shit. He's literally fluent in all of those languages. It went viral. Like, now he's at like 1.4 million views. So just because somebody has 14,000 subscribers doesn't mean they're not internationally huge, because international doesn't always go to YouTube for everything, because they don't, they have different platforms that they focus on. So you just can't judge a book by its cover or by whatever statistics you're looking at. You've got to kind of...
Right. Well, yeah, and I mean, to kind of like, I don't know, explain it's not really the right word, but I guess to kind of like explain it, like most of my catalog up until I guess February was entirely instrumental.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, I mean, I've I'm really big on like actually like getting into I don't know if like the science behind shit is the right way to put it, but like I like to research what I'm doing, and like beyond just like doing it, you know what I mean? And like my instrumental stuff is very big outside of the United States.
Yep. And
I think there's a couple reasons for that. I mean, you have like in the European market, a lot of my early instrumental stuff is basically like a house or trap beat with like lead guitar on it.
Right.
So you don't want, well, for one, you don't, with like instrumental stuff, you don't have a language barrier. So I think that is part of why like my music grew overseas a lot faster than it did in the United States. I think as far as like what I've seen, no matter what genre of music you're really into, the American market and a lot of even the Western market, even like more westernized, like European countries or like Canada and stuff, if you're not doing something vocally within like the first 25 seconds of the song, there's just not a whole lot of market for it.
Which I wish wasn't the case, because in all honesty, do you know, and this, I'm going to be completely transparent. Do you know how many rap songs? And I'm talking big mainstream rap songs, or I'm talking independent rap songs where I'm like, God, that beat is fire. Shut the fuck up and let me listen to it.
Yeah.
Like, can I just get rid of the vocals? That would be great. Like, the beat is fire. And I'm really mean, because I'll say the beat's fire. If the beat's fire, the beat's fire. That means nothing about somebody's vocals. Just saying. Right. If y'all hear me say that, I'm not talking about vocals. I'm talking about the beat. Like,
I'm guilty as well. I guess everybody can know now. Like, if I'm in somebody's comments or something and I say I love this track, I'm in that track. I mean the track, like the beat.
Yeah.
But either way, but yeah, it you know, and oh man, it's hard for me to articulate these things concisely, because I could talk for like 2 hours about one little thing. But
I'll redirect you. Don't worry.
All right, then you're here for me. All right, so I guess it's probably helped to give a little bit of background to it. All right, when I started recording music, it was essentially something to replace time that I would have normally been drinking, because I was basically probably the last 2 or 3 years before I got sober, I was pretty much a daily drinker. And when I ended up going to it was in November of 2020. Yeah, November of 2020, I ended up in a psychiatric facility for like the third time in my life, right? And I decided after that time, like, I really just need to stop drinking. And when I stopped drinking, it was less. Alcohol wasn't as much a craving for me. Like, it was that, like, it become so habitual. It was like, okay, I have to replace the time I spend every night coming home getting hammered with something. I was like, well, I'm a musician, all right? So I need to kind of reconnect with that. And I was like, well, how do I make more of it? Well, fuck it, I'll record. Now, when I started doing all of this, I simply just didn't have the equipment or really the desire to sing. I mean,
Right.
I had sung in my past, like, a lot, playing in bands and stuff like that, but I just didn't have really the desire for it. I didn't know that I would really or it wasn't a way that I was like interested in expressing myself with music at the time. And again, I didn't have the equipment. Like, to get the equipment I needed to basically like produce a track and record my guitar was actually pretty simple and inexpensive. So I got it, and then I just started recording things. And then I was like, well, how do I distribute it? Oh, okay, it's actually really easy. There's websites that you pay $20 a year and they put it, so it really, when I started this journey in terms of recording and releasing music, I had no idea in my mind or desire to ever, like, I didn't give a shit if anyone else ever heard it. It was literally just, I
Your
need to do
outlet.
something. Yeah, it was literally just, I need something to do when I get home from work so that I don't drive to the liquor store. That was it. And I found that what I was doing, especially maybe like 5 or 6, 7 like instrumental songs I did into it, that there was this kind of weird thing that I was doing that really not very many people were doing. Like I said, basically making some kind of a trap beat or like a house beat. There's all kinds of different things I do, like kind of lo-fi beats, trap beats. Basically producing almost like a backing track, but instead of doing vocals, I was like, I'll just play lead guitar over it. And it ended up being this thing. I've actually had people say to me, like, I've never heard anyone do that before, which I'm sure is probably not true. I'm sure there are plenty of people doing what I do. But the point is, it found some weird, like, little market to where, like, people were interested in it that I had no idea. And then, as it progressed, I kind of got to a point where I was like, I really need to try to break in more to an American market, because as big as I am outside of the United States in terms of like Spotify and stuff like that, it doesn't pay you shit.
Right.
It doesn't pay you shit. And by the way, total side note, and not to get into it, but when Russia invaded Ukraine, I lost a lot of Spotify plays.
Oh.
So,
Well, just because you 15th Ben, Larry, there's other people in the chat. If I didn't chat yet, sorry. Because you guys are here, if you guys have seen my story, I'm just putting this out there because I know you guys make beats. You make unique beats, right? You make unique beats, especially. I'm honestly gonna say it. Wolf, you and you 15th Ben, check out my story on Instagram. Nova made a post. She's looking for beats, so check that out. If you
lordy.
Sincerely, because she's trying to finish out her album, and she's also fixed it so she can stream doing music, and I think she's doing that right now.
I saw her singing live actually on something, I think, the other day.
Yeah, she posted on Instagram. She was doing a sound check because she got all of that set up yesterday, I think it was. And so that's what I believe she's doing right now, because I've been getting pings, which means, she's, since I mod for her, she's probably looking for people to show, but I'm obviously not available. So,
look at me, king in the castle.
No, and I'm gonna put that out there just because it is what it is. I mean, people know there's people that I mess with, that people that I fuck with, that I mod for, and I do make them a priority. However, when I make a commitment to someone, that is the only person I've ever canceled on is Sack Juggalo, who was supposed to be Wednesday, but because Nick and Truth are both supposed to pull up on Wednesday, I couldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah.
And he understood, and he is like, I truly appreciate him being so so cool about it. I've never canceled. I literally, when you're here, it's about you. That's the whole point of, like, when I say that, I used to explain this. I haven't had to do it in a long time, and I don't have to do it now. But when I made the merch that says "Here for It," "Here for It" is a state of mind. It's actually pinned in the announcements in the Discord. We're literally, it means you're here in this moment. You're here for what's going on right now. It's kind of like the be here now type of mentality. When you commit to having a conversation with somebody and you're spending that time directly with them, you have to be in that moment, and you have to actually give them the attention that they deserve. You have to be present and be listening. You have to, pay attention to the chat. You can't be distracted by 30 other things. You need to, if you're giving that time to someone and they're giving that time to you, you really got to give them the respect to do it fully. You know what I mean? And I completely believe in that. And I know when Skullz is doing it, he's the same way. And I've never had
it ties right into. Oh, go ahead.
I have had a guest that's kind of been like, I don't know if they were really present or if they were busy. I don't know. It's happened, but that doesn't mean that myself or anyone that's in the chat isn't paying attention, because we all are. People can be lurking and listening, but when it comes to every single person that I actually do any kind of modding for, or anything, that's my daughter coming in and out, anything of that nature, they understand that, and they've never, ever, ever been like, well, then screw you. Right? And so, for example, if Nova's live, I think she might be, I'm not sure. I mod for her, but I'm not there. And there's a reason for it. So, of course, I'll pop in later if she still is. But I'm never going to stop and say, oh, I got to go. Because I think all of us, and I'm going to say everybody, and I'm being completely sincere. This sounds so, let me just say it and see how it comes off.
Are you going to make me cry?
No, I'm just going to make a statement. I think that everybody is a peer. So, and I've said this about content creators because Nick had to like drill it into my head a million times. He's like, Kat, you are a content creator. I'm like, huh, okay. Like that mentality to the point where it's like, I'm not an artist, but I am on level with any of the guests that I bring. We are all here on the same level. We're just people, and that's the whole point of the conversations. I don't care if you have 30 subscribers, 150, 200,000 subscribers. I don't care, right? Nova is amazing, right? And I know she's really up on that level, but she is a peer when it comes to, she treats people that way as well, and that's what's cool about her. Vic is the same way. Truth is the same way. The people that I like mod for. So I just feel like people forget sometimes that everybody's a human being.
Yeah.
And they hold them either to a higher standard that maybe is not necessarily obtainable, or they underestimate them because they don't have the views or something. You know what I mean? Like people just don't see people
absolutely.
as people.
It just like you were talking about, like with if you were to judge my reach by my YouTube, you know what I'm saying? It
which I did.
You never, right? Exactly, and it's it's just one of those things where I think it comes down to. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. It comes down to just having that respect down to. Oh, that's what I was. I'm sorry, that's what I was going to say. It goes right back into what I was saying at the beginning. Why I really respect what you do with this, because it isn't about that. It isn't about that. And the reality is numbers are completely arbitrary anyway. And like they go it or not arbitrary, but it can go in ways people don't think. Just like you were talking about with how, like, you saw my Spotify one month, I had like 150,000 monthly listeners one month, right? However,
that was the month I saw it. Yeah.
Right. However, is cool as it is, for me, it didn't really mean a whole lot because Spotify doesn't really pay a whole lot, so it's like, and that kind of came out wrong. I don't mean it like I'm not appreciative of people listening to my music, if
no.
that's how that
It's
sounded. That's not
actually
what I meant at all. But what I mean is, like, the numbers, when we look at numbers, and that's kind of how we look at things, like as a society, and I don't mean that to be disparaging to anyone, but I'm saying it's just kind of what we do now.
Let me say this. If I go look at numbers, it's because I want to get an idea. I kind of want to know what I'm dealing with and what I'm looking at. If you're looking at somebody and you're like, I wonder, like, are they well known? There's a lot of thought process that you don't articulate into your actual brain that is going on behind the scenes when you're looking at numbers. When I'm looking at somebody that could potentially come on as a guest, I don't give priority to certain people. There are certain people, okay? Anybody hog, they get priority. Y'all know that.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
That's how it goes. And, suck it. So
right.
It's just the way it is. Or people that are really fucking close to me, or somebody went out of their way to help me get them on. That's different. Someone I've asked a long time ago. However, when I go research somebody that I'm considering that I don't know as well as someone else does, that someone has suggested, I look at the numbers. It's not because the numbers define them as a person, right?
Right, but it is part of the metric.
It also tells me how to talk to them. Right? It explains to me how to talk to them. And Bill, that's awesome that she's listening to Rachel right now, because that song's fire. I wish I was there for that, but in all honesty, I've heard it a million times. I had it on repeat the other day.
My God, I'm just like ruining your night with Nova.
No, not really.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I guess really, I'm like poorly articulating what I'm actually trying to say, but like, it's like, it's a metric that, like, when you look at whether it be followers, streams, views, all that kind of stuff, it's like it is obviously a part of like the metric that you are gonna, that, and when I say you, by the way, I'm just painting with a broad brush. I don't mean you. I'm
personally offended. I feel attacked.
Well, it's definitely got to be part of how you quantify what it is that you're doing, whether it be on a podcast or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a part of it. It's like, for me personally, I don't think about it as much as I did at one point, because I've realized that for whatever your art is, or if you're a content creator, you're a musician, whatever you are, you have to find value in more important things, I think. Yeah. Whether it be your community that, you're like hardcore, diehard community that's around you. Or, I mean, look, there are people who I'm sure it's enough, because it is a numbers game to a certain extent, though, too, because if you're somebody who's trying to make a living with what you're doing, whether it be content creation or music, there are things that numbers are going to make a difference in terms of that. If you were to look at like say we're talking about like independently released music, at the end of the day, the more people that hear it, there's going to be a percentage of them that are going to want to continue to hear it, and there's going to be a percentage of them that are going to be willing to pay for it.
Right.
So if you have 10,000 people hear it, or you have 10 million people hear it, it will make a difference on the amount of money you make. That's just math, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that it has to be what is important to you or important to anybody. However, there are just more important metrics than just the pure how many people follow this person, how many views does this have, and things like that.
Exactly.
And quite frankly, like, I shoot myself in the foot a lot in terms of like, from, if I were to look at it from a purely business standpoint, because just like you were talking about, like with my YouTube, I do not do things that I could do to make it grow, simply because I wouldn't be doing it genuinely. I would only be doing it to make it grow. And I would rather be myself than do the things I know I could do to just keep pushing the numbers up, because it wouldn't be me. It would be disingenuous. And at the end of the day, I'm really making music for me. Right. And anybody that comes along and enjoys it to whatever extent is a bonus. But at the end of the day, it is like my therapy. It is my it is what I do to be okay, basically. So I'm not going to do. You're not going to see me. In fact, just to, like I'm doing. I don't know if you saw, but like the next thing I have, kind of the next project I'm doing. I'm actually doing 10 cover songs in addition to 10 original songs, and I'm almost like I almost hate myself that I'm doing it because I love the songs I'm doing, but there is a part of me that is only doing cover songs because I know it will get more attention.
Right.
And that's just true. That's just the way it works. But just to kind of make the point that I really don't like doing things disingenuously, even if it's a good business decision. Even these songs, I'm only okay that I'm doing it because I really, really do love the songs that I'm going to cover, and that's it.
No, I get that. By the way, shout out Skullz. He says, I don't know if I'm going to make it on, guys. The vet took forever. Good news, though. The cat's on pain meds, and he was able to take a few steps by himself. He fixed his cat. That's no,
good.
Honestly,
I'm glad the cat is okay.
No, that's awesome. And that's okay, man. We got this. It's cool. Just get your pussy home. And tucked in right. Anyway, but no, seriously, I mean, I love cats. Everybody knows that. I really love cats. Dogs are like not my thing. But I get what you're saying because I have had advice. I will tell you right now, I make each and every single executive decision on this platform. I will tell you that flat out. I do.
Sorry, Skullz.
No, it is what it is, and he knows it too. And I'm not trying to like.
Oh, I know he knows it after seeing the insider view of how you speak to him in private.
But here's the thing. It doesn't take away from his value and how much I love him to pieces. Like my mom even said that like Nick and Truth are coming. If Skullz was coming, that would be like epic. Like that would be the catalyst of my legit besties right there.
Right.
And I'm not disowning anybody from the community. I'm talking about like the people that I have legitimately talked to almost every single day for over a year with Skullz, over a year with Nick, almost a year with Truth. Like every single day in, day out, they call me, they check on me, we talk to each other, we just make sure everything's cool and we move on. So it would have just been amazing. But it's not taking away from him as a person or whatever. His input means everything. He knows when I am losing my shit, I come to go to him. However,
Are you going to cheese that up or what?
I make every.
Sorry, I'm moving around. By the way, I apologize. I am present in this conversation,
It's
but
okay.
I am at home with my family, so I don't want you to think I'm not.
How dare you?
Paying attention.
How dare you? But I do make every executive decision whatsoever, right? And so when it comes to what I plan to do, I know there are ways that I could grow the channel. I could jump over that 1,000 subscriber mark. Dormant subscribers, by the way. I could jump over that mark. And I could be monetized, and then I could just not do it anymore. But then why would I do it in the first place? If that's not something I wanted to do, why would I do it? Just to get the monetization?
Right.
Like, that's not it for me because it's not about that. Like, don't get me wrong. If y'all wanted to monetize the shit out of me, please feel free. I mean, the link is
don't get
in the
excited
description.
either.
I'm just saying, links in the description, y'all. And Skullz isn't here, so I don't have to share shit. Just putting that out there in the universe.
As small as my channel is, I am actually monetized. It's nothing to get that excited about.
Well,
I promise you, it's not.
well, no, and I'm not saying that. It's like because the cool part about not doing, like, for example, reactions, you don't get copyrighted, so all of the monetization is yours, and they're not going to take it away, and that's great. Except you, because apparently my video got blocked in like 85 countries. The video that you made and gave to me to post.
I've gotten, I think, the last 3 days in a row. Every time I look at my Instagram, I've gotten my own video on my own Instagram of my own music blocked, and I have to appeal it for like the last 3 days. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, I'm just saying that disingenuine thing is not it for me, and I know that it's not it for you, which is actually kind of cool. I truly appreciate anybody that can really open up and just give their take on what's going on, what they do. Like, people don't understand that there are so many aspects to everything that we do. We have families. I'm not saying anybody that doesn't have a family, oh, you have more time. It's not that, because you might have a job that takes up more of your time, or you might have a job and a family, or you might have a disabled child. Who knows? You never know what
We
somebody's
all
struggle is.
have some things.
Right. And
Yeah.
you might have worked for 30 years to get where you are, and somebody might have worked for 6 months. It doesn't, at the end of it, it doesn't really matter, right? If you rock with somebody as a person, you just do. Like,
Right.
and it can be about that. It doesn't have to be about how cool you are, how amazing you are, how many subscribers you have. I mean, I actually appreciate the people that could. My numbers are actually super high for returning viewers. I have a lot of returning viewers, and so that
And you
boosts mine
have
a lot.
like over and I don't know this from actually seeing like anything, but just from looking at like a video after it's been up, like you have over 50% subscriber like watch time. Like your subscribers actually watch you. You know what I mean? Like I'll see like the ratio of views to your subscribers is very high.
Right. Like, not at this exact second, but in general, correct.
Yeah, what the hell? Everybody.
It's all good, because the thing
No,
is there's a lot of people that come back and listen later because I get the comments the next day. And I'm going to give a special shout out to Wendy. I know you're going to be listening to this, and I know you're going to hear this. And she always posts a comment when she goes back and listens to the podcast. And like, for example, she listens to the one with Traumatos that Truth jumped into on Saturday, and she was appreciative of. She just learns new things that she never would have thought, you know.
Right.
And to get that kind of a comment meant she was listening, and she paid attention, and she actually listened to it through because she caught that happened, right?
Right.
So the people that are coming back after the fact and listening, you guys mean just as much as the people that are here. The only difference is you're not actively chatting, you're not asking a question in the chat, but you can always come back later. And that's why my channel says live or watch it later. Like, you can listen later. It's okay. All of it counts. Just like, subscribe, and comment, please. When this is no longer live, please comment. It means everything. Comments matter. The chat moving matters. All of that matters, and people don't understand that. Like, as an artist, your view count matters. Your obviously your likes matter. The dislikes matter because they actually count, whether they're dislike or likes. But your comments matter too, because that actually helps the algorithm get your music. If you like somebody, if you like their music, it doesn't matter. Like, if you put a bunch of hashtags in the comments, it actually hurts more than helps. I don't know if y'all knew that. If you put repetitive things in the comments, that hurts more than helps, because YouTube recognizes you as a copy paster.
Right. And I think some of the algorithms too, if it's too repetitive, they just dispose of it like it's a bot.
No, absolutely, which is ironic because I consistently get bots that post some random ass shit onto my comments.
Yeah, I've been getting some recently. I think it's my Spanish is rough, but I'm pretty sure that someone is desperately in need of me joining their OnlyFans.
Oh, okay. Well, you might want to get right on that.
I'm good.
Just, you gotta save them. They're desperate, man. They're desperate. By the way, shout out to somebody who's probably not going to watch this one's per se. I don't think she watches these after the fact. Sometimes she'll hop in when it's live, but she is on my Instagram, and shout out to her, and anybody that might know who I'm talking about has seen her Instagram. Shout out to her Happy Father's Day post, where she is looking pretty fucking hot and telling everyone, Happy Father's Day, daddies. Like, I literally responded to her story and was like, I don't think that is what it's all about. Like, I don't think it means
I don't think so.
That kind of daddy. I think there's a different holiday for that. I love her to pieces, though. It could be a hot single mom in your area. Absolutely, Wolf, but he's got a girlfriend, so that kind of,
yeah. Oh my God, it's so bad on Instagram. It is so bad.
Well, I get the 35,000 Tom McDonald and Mad Child clones, and I post them in the Discord all the time. Like, it's a thing now. And I got Keanu Reeves clone one time. I get a lot.
Yeah,
and then my favorite
rough.
Are the anal Sally that like watch my stories. I'm like, aren't you busy like webcamming? Why are you on my story looking at my shit? Like, and multiple stories. Like, where did you find me? Like, what are you even doing?
I honestly, there's certain aspects with social media, like I don't dig any further. Like, to me, it's like it to me, it's just a tool. I really don't. I'm not the type of person to. In fact, I didn't have for about 6 years. Well, I'll say 5 years prior to starting to release my own music. I didn't even have any social media. I had nothing because I'm just not interested in it in that way. Like, to me, it's a tool that you should use if you know, for whatever, whether you're a musician, content creator. I mean, I think if you don't use those tools, you're kind of ignorant, but it's not something that I am like excited to use.
Well, I mean, I started my Instagram last year when I started getting involved with reactors in general, or trying to reach anybody, because they tended to be on Instagram, and like people are real closed about, oh, I don't want you on my Facebook. I'm like, you know that everything you post on Instagram, like posts on
It's the
Facebook, right?
same
like,
thing, same company.
right. I'm like, you do
yeah.
realize that it like dual posts on everything. And I mean, I'm sorry, do you not want me in your Facebook? Because that's for your special friends. I don't know, but cool. Because I don't use I really don't use Facebook unless I'm checking to make sure that I didn't post something stupid by accident.
Right.
Or to see if people commented on something I did post. I check the notifications and then I get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I don't even have an account, and I have actually been told several times in the last few months that like that might be a thing that is kind of hurting me, actually.
No, fuck Facebook.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I have kind of contemplated it on and off again, but I haven't done it yet. So
no, I do not. I will tell you right now, and this is true. I actually I'm a backup admin for a couple of groups. I'm a backup admin, I think, for Nova Street Team. I'm backup, and it's not from Nova. It's from Heidi and anybody know Vocal Citizen. It's from them. They run that. I'm very, very, very close, and actually, he's going to be a guest at some point. Haven't scheduled him yet. Vaughn Taylor is going to be on here. I'm also a friend of Jenna's from the Hug official Facebook group. I don't go scrolling through posts. Like everybody knows, I don't scroll. I rarely scroll. I do once in a while by accident when I'm like taking a crap. But aside from that, I'm usually reading a book, so I don't need to. But like Facebook, I don't go to Reels. I don't go to usually to groups, unless something comes up in notifications. I don't go and like search for things. I don't scroll on people's feeds. I literally pop on, answer messages and notifications, and leave.
Right.
Instagram, a little bit different. I do check stories from people for specific reasons. It has a lot to do with my networking.
Yeah, of course.
Because networking is key to what I'm doing specifically. As artists, that's key as well. However, not to the extent that I'm doing it, because I'm asking people that don't know who the fuck I am to show up and come talk to me like they fucking know me, or to trust me enough to come talk to me like they know me. And the fact that there are people that have agreed to do so. Wolf, you and I know each other, right? We know each other decently well. Like, we're not like the bosom buddies. We're not like best friends. Like, we don't share tampons, but like...
Not yet.
We're getting there. We're close. But point is that like, to ask someone to come on and treat you like they even know who the hell you are, sight unseen, conversation not had, right? Either through a recommendation or just because you were being sincere, they saw it and, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, you know what, I will do it. Not a problem. That's a big thing. It's a lot of trust that people put in you. And that's the thing about this kind of a platform. You can get artists to show up, but the cool thing is, I've always wished that I did instruments. I wish I did graphic design. I wish I did instruments. I mean, of course, I'm
glad you don't.
I am too, because it's a pain in my ass. Like, I could just, I have enough to do. Like, the last thing I need is to like practice the oboe or something.
Right.
I'm not knocking the oboe, y'all. Like, don't at me in the comments.
I was talking about the graphic design. I don't care if you play instruments.
Oh, I would love to do graphic design. In fact, like I got some tips from like Op12 is giving me tips. Nova's giving me tips. I mean, come on, I got like, okay, it was like 2 tips from Nova, but it was still, Nova gave me tips. So I'm Nova certified, y'all. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. But she really did give me like 2 tips. But it's just so much that like, there's just, everybody has a certain amount of hours in the day, and you just have to like fit in to the hours of your day, the things that you can prioritize and accomplish. Networking and running this podcast and doing my job and being a single mom is what I can accomplish. You can do like everything that I can't do. Literally. You can do everything I can't do. So,
well, I mean, I think that's, it's one of those things where, again, it draws, I think, genuine people into communities like this, though, where you can find these like symbiotic kind of relationships with people, whether, to whatever degree of like depth they hold as a relationship, or whether it's on a personal or professional level, or they cross, it's part of what makes all this stuff like enjoyable. And it's I mean, because think about it. I mean, if I enjoy like doing the things that I do for you. It's not like it puts me out in some
like, I'm
way,
like,
or
hey,
it's like,
hey, I've locked in so and so. Oh my God!
No, it's
really
like
another one.
No, it genuinely is something I enjoy doing. In fact, was it last week when you dropped like 6 names or something? Has that been a couple weeks ago?
It was
and you
last
were like,
week,
here, I got like, you were like, here's like 7 people, and you can come on. I actually, like, sincerely, I was like, oh, this is awesome, because for I know we haven't really gone into like my background that much tonight, but like having these types of things, these purposes, and being able to like have a purpose doing something that I enjoy is like, for me, because I struggle with my mental health immensely. Those things, like, they are like, there's me on track, what keeps my mind right, so to fall into, basically just out of coincidence, a situation where we can do these things for each other is so important for a lot of people. And I'm grateful for it, and I know that you're very grateful for what I do. And again, that's what to me this stuff should be, as far as like content creation and podcasts and making music. Like, if it's not something that has some meaning to you, that is enjoyable to you, and you're making healthy professional and personal relationships with other people, I don't know how you would just be miserable trying to do it,
By the way, shout out to Meow. Meow. And Truth is here.
What's up?
He says, my sis and my boy Wolf. That's right. And Iron has to bounce, so bye, Iron.
He's very tired.
And here's the thing.
He works very early.
Oh, I get it. Trust me. I'm usually up at like 5, so I get that.
Yeah, I know.
Truth is up usually earlier. He crashes. He's like, nope, I'm going to bed. I gotta get up and work out first.
Yeah. Truth. If you're here, I messaged you because I forgot I was supposed to get with you last week about something, but I messaged you on IG, so hit me up.
But the thing is that I do know that, especially if you're there is a mental health thing where people feel, and I get this way, and I'm actually getting this way, and it has to do with cleaning my house for my company that's coming this week. So, like, I'm always busy, and I've let my house just like decline. It is what it is. And so it's an overwhelming task. So the best way I could have done it was to take a week and have set small goals that I could accomplish, so I felt that accomplishment. Rather than, people don't understand that when you're in that place where you feel like maybe you're not making an impact, goal reaching, sometimes you need to make small goals and just reach those ones to get yourself, even for a moment, and then you need to celebrate your goal achievement every single fucking time. Every single time you set a goal, no matter how small or how large, you need to stop and you need to celebrate it, acknowledge and appreciate it, and you know, not congratulate and like throw a party, but you need to just take a breather and say, I got that done. That's right. You know, I didn't think I was going to, but I got that done. Doesn't matter how big or small. You need to stop and you need to appreciate the win. It is imperative for mental health. It is imperative for your self-esteem. It is imperative. I don't do that. And I made this whole game at my old job. It was a Monopoly game, and it had all of these how to build rapport with different aspects of the company, whether it become like a department to department, to the patients, with the facilities, with the corporate or whatever. And one of the things was, you know, actually acknowledge accomplishments, even if it's just to yourself. Because recognizing that you have, all big goals starts with small victories. And the thing is that some people, it is okay if you don't have a huge victory, like where you just got this, like you had this huge ass milestone. Every step that you take, especially the more draining it is on you, the harder is, the more that you think you're not going to do it. You need to stop and realize, I did do that. Don't ever like blow yourself off, like rush yourself off. Whether it be, I didn't drink today, whether it be, I cleaned the toilet today, whether it be, I meant to make dinner 3 times this week and I you know, from scratch, and you know, I did that, or I sat down with my family today, or I decided I'm gonna go live 3 times, or maybe I'm only going to, because some people overdo it, right? Everything that you do that is something you said, I'm going to do this, that's setting a goal. And people don't think that. They don't think along those lines. And if you're struggling with not self-importance, but achievement, or feeling like you're not
self-esteem.
Self-esteem, not getting anything done, specifically making a goal. Well, this sounds stupid. A goal to make these little small achievable goals, even if you have bigger goals out there, it matters. And you need to stop every single time and acknowledge them, even if you do it by yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
or post it in the Discord. We'll celebrate with you. I cleaned the fucking toilet today.
Yeah, there's probably people listening that have already heard me talk about this, whether it be in a live or posted somewhere. But you know, when I first got sober, and I did this for a long time, and it's actually something that now that you're talking about it too, it makes me think I need to do it more than I have been. But when I first got sober, every day I would write down a list of things that some of the things that I would write down for the day were things I knew I would do. Like, they weren't things like it was stupid shit. Literally, like, okay, I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna take a shower. And I would make a little box that I could check off when I did that thing. Yep. And that was kind of like a mainstay of like my existence for months, where it you know, like you said, I think people don't take time to recognize their accomplishments, even if they're small, because even those, it's just like what I was saying earlier about how, like, as long as you're moving forward, even if you never get exactly to where it is you're trying to go, you're going to be closer tomorrow than you were today, as long as you're taking those little steps towards it, you know. And I highly recommend that to people too, by the way. Like, if anybody that struggles with their mental health, when you get up in the morning, just make a little list of things that you're going to do that day. Again, it doesn't even have to be setting goals that are necessarily like things maybe you just want to do. They can start out like I did. I literally would write down things I knew I was going to do. I knew I was going to do them, but I wrote them down anyway so I could check it off. And I always felt better at the end of the day, even if my list was so stupid and mundane. Like, okay, I'm going to shower, I'm going to brush my teeth, I'm going to vacuum, I have to do this, so I'll mark, you know, it just gave you a sense of accomplishment having it in front of your face to look at.
No, and I get that. I agree with you. I'm going to give you a flip side of that. I'm going to give you, like, this is real talk from me. My mother is a straight up list person. Everything is a list. I never make lists. The fact that I even have everything scheduled in the Discord so that people can see what's coming. You're welcome. That's not normal for me. I keep it all in my head. I have to. The only thing I mess up on sometimes is times, because I can't memorize if it's 6 or 6:30 or 7 every fucking time, y'all. I'm human. But here's the thing. In general, my mom is 100% a list person. She makes lists. Okay, these are things I need to shop for. These are the people I need to call to discuss, changing my, cell phone coverage, or updating my insurance. Like, she does all that. I can't. I'm not that person. However, I have noticed in the past, when I felt particularly useless, writing down a list after the fact, right? And so writing a list of every little thing, but not to check off, but after I did it. So in other words, instead of saying, okay, I'm just saying this is a different approach to it. Instead of saying I'm going to brush my teeth, you could just, after you brushed your teeth and after you took a shower, you could literally go on your list and write them down, and they're already checked off. So then you could see what you did accomplish, what you recognize that you accomplished. And you don't necessarily feel like, especially on those days you feel like you're lacking, like you just can't pull it off. It makes you feel like you still did something, even if you're not setting goals in order to do more. Some days you just don't want to fucking do more, or you're just not in that mindset. So there's 2 ways to do that, in my opinion.
And just real quick, I was going to say, I even though the way I described that process for me, the way I did, there were days I did exactly what you just said, and I'll tell you, even doing it after the fact, I felt just as much like relief or accomplishment, or whatever it be, relief of depression, anxiety, whatever it was. I felt just as good if I did what you just said, or if I made it in the morning and then checked it off as I did it. It did the same thing for me.
And see, I'm going to be completely real. This is something that is not like common knowledge, but I'm not that stable. So it is what it is. My mother.
I think you're in the right group of people.
She was basically like, hey, so, cause my mom owns the house I'm in, and I'm actually moving out. I'm probably going to move in with her. She's retiring next Friday. Yay, Mom. Finally. And she deserves to. So we need to sell the house. So it's like a whole thing.
Right.
She's like, I checked the account, and, this and this isn't there. And I'm like, shit. Okay, it's coming, and I'm working on it. And she's like, I don't know how. I'm like, because I'm going to make it happen. However, and I said, look, I want you to know this. And I went through, and once I looked back and reread it, I was like, wow. I'm like, look, I have cut down every service except for, my phone and my internet. And like I went through, okay, this. And then I'm also being real. I already am I think it was 103 in here right now. Like, it's not helping in the garage, but inside I haven't been cranking up the air conditioning just to try and save on the electric bill.
Yeah. It adds up. It all adds up.
Exactly. I'm also being hardcore about, like, if you leave a room, turn the damn TV off. Don't have 5 TVs on in the house when you're, just because in case you might wander in the room and want to see something. That's not how that works.
Well, I have someone here to remind me if lights are on TV.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's that kind of stuff where I listed off, like, okay, so by the way, these are the little things, and they might not mean much individually, but added up, these are all of the things. And once I started writing the list of all the things I was trying to do to cut back so that I was not creating more of a burden for myself, my budget, and or the home and stuff, right?
Right.
I was like, whoa, I'm actually making an effort. Like, I canceled all my monthly or semi-monthly subscription to necessities. I only buy them when I need them, right? So instead of having it, I might have 2 or 3 built up because I'm an obsessive hoarder when it comes to that stuff. I stopped those because that's an extra expense that I don't actually need at that moment. I'll get it when I need it. So all these little bitty things. And once I listed them all off, because I was trying to prove that I'm really making an effort, right? At my age, I'm trying to prove I'm making an effort. Which sucked, by the way. I realized I actually am doing a lot more than I thought I was to achieve these goals. I just wasn't acknowledging all of these different things that I was really trying to do. I fight with my kids. No, you can't DoorDash things. You guys all hear them on the line. Come on, can we get Wingstop? And she'll jump in the chat. No, like I'm hands down. No, I'm not buying you snacks at the gas station. No. Like, there's all these different things. And individually, these things might seem like nothing, but when you compile them into a list after the fact and realize just how much you are really doing to change your circumstance. And this, by the way, this does apply to real life. It does apply to music. If you're like, okay, well, I'm going to practice, I'm going to try to at least like research something, I'm going to look into, like, let's say you're trying to make a song and you're not you because you make your own beats. You're going to go look at beats and just see if they can find something. Just kind of listen to them for like an hour, but not too long, not get obsessed, right? And then they're going to like, you know, see if they go through their songs that they're in the middle of and see if there's anything else they can complete. And then maybe they're going to talk to that person they were going to talk to about collaborating. Like, there's all these different ways you can apply this. And if you actually, at the end of the day, go back and write down everything that you did, you probably will be surprised at how much you accomplished when you feel like you did nothing.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. And for, you know, I think for a lot of people, it's a missing element that if they incorporate, and again, it doesn't have to be the way I do it or the way you do it,
Right.
but incorporating that in some way, that acknowledgement of even the smallest little steps is I think it's probably missing from a lot of people that are having some problems with their mental health. That could be like the first step towards a little bit of healing, you know.
Well, especially in this space. Like at the beginning, we were talking about people that I'm honestly put out trash ass music, or they don't care about quality, right?
Right.
And you know, they're just hoping that one day one of their trash ass tracks is gonna, like, someone's gonna be like, oh, that's badass, and like bump it and move on. That's not how that works, because you know, you actually need to make the effort, and to show what kind of effort you're making. Sure, you banged this out in how many days? What is your average? Like, there's so many ways you can apply it, you know, to show that you're making goals. Numbers don't always matter. Quality matters more, right?
Right.
So
yeah,
you have to acknowledge that you don't have to have a list of 30 things that you accomplished. You could have 2 things that day that just took everything out of you. You know, I have major back problem, which I didn't realize, but I do. Like, I can't like half bend on everything. So if I do, I have to sit down because it, like, I had this sciatic, it's a thing. And
right.
I can't do that for long. So if I have to like clean everything on the ground, I have to stop, right? And then I have to come back, and then I have to stop. But then I get distracted by the TV, right? So if I accomplish like completing an entire task that has to do with dishes, like leaning into the dishwasher or folding all of my laundry, that is a big deal to me. It matters. And I think that, oh God, I have all this to do, but I never acknowledge what I've done. And artists need to do the same thing. What's up, Dysfunctional? Welcome in, man. Congrats, by the way. You just hit a major milestone recently. So congrats to you, my friend.
Congratulations.
But people don't understand that you can acknowledge big goals, and you can, but here, like, I've been telling everybody in this community, and I know you have done this as well. I've lurked on you a little bit.
Oh.
All these little milestones, right? I'm like obsessively like, by the way, y'all, it's my birthday tomorrow. Just saying. In case y'all didn't know that, it's my birthday. I'm obsessive about my birthday, and I haven't said anything. I'm really proud of myself. So there's a goal. I didn't want to say anything until like it's almost my birthday.
Yeah, we're close.
Because I make it like the whole week is my birthday. Just because I'm hoping at some point somebody will do something for my birthday, and my kids are like fun, and they never do. Actually, I lied. My daughter, you hear this? This is a bag. She's like, I DoorDashed some stuff from Walmart. I'm like, oh, did you? And she's like, yeah. And she's like, I got you something, but they didn't bring it. I'm like, oh. She's like, it was supposed to be for your birthday. I'm like, okay, thanks. Then she comes back. That's why the door kept opening and closing. She goes, they did bring it, but it's not the size I thought it was. It is Cars sweet and salty trail mix. The size you get in like the vending machine.
Hey, it's a thought that counts, right?
With my money. Yeah, sure. Yeah, thought that counts. Cool. Yeah. Thanks, Dysfunction. Appreciate you, man. You do need it. You do. I have to hit DM you again. I haven't done that in a minute. I apologize. Yeah,
I think too, though. Like, I think just to kind of keep going on with that thought though, of like these, you can apply this stuff into so many things too. I mean, whether it's within, whatever you're doing with content creation or your music and stuff like that and your life, it's just, it, we live in a world where, like we've talked about already tonight, this like the saturation of music that there is, how much there is to make, to make yourself visible to people, whether it be with quality or having some message that resonates with people, or just in your life. It's like it's really easy with all the instant gratification that exists now in this world that we live in, to really just forget all those little things. I mean, I still do it when I release a song or something. I still do it. I get horrible anxiety, and then the days after, I'm like, oh man, it's not doing this here, or it's not doing that there. And you just have to like take the time, like you have said, take the time to stop and acknowledge the fact, I should be grateful if one person chooses to listen to my song, and I should be even more grateful because beyond that, there are people who choose to pay for that song. So even if it isn't some astronomical goal I've set for myself that may be completely unrealistic, it is something that is more than nothing.
Yes.
And you need to be grateful for something being more than nothing is enough to be grateful.
No, absolutely. And see, there's, in my personal opinion, this is as an outsider, as not somebody who does things like, for example, reactions or music, artistry. Like, I don't post my own content in that regard. I get arguments all the time. What you do, you're a content creator. Like, I get that. You guys know what I'm talking about. You know how I'm differentiating this. So, for example, Dysfunctional is a reactor, and he just hit a huge milestone. I believe it was 100,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
Just hit
Congratulations.
the other day. And
I said congratulations earlier, and I didn't actually know what I was saying it for, so now I'll say it again.
No, it's a huge. It's one of the biggest milestones because it's the first, right? Your first 1,000, your 10,000, your 50, and your 100. Those are the big ones. Because
right.
as you hit each of those milestones, the things they snowball and they just get bigger and bigger, and things get faster and faster because people come back and they pay attention. There's also the aspect of, like you were saying, people pay for your music. Somebody that pays to get that song, right? It matters to you. It matters. Well, not only because it's monetary value, but also because they care enough, they like it enough that they choose to buy it. That matters as well, and that's an esteem thing. I guarantee you, I know how the back side of a lot of this stuff. I know what it takes to do what a lot of people are doing. It's a grind. There's a grind.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the artist side of it as much, but like Dysfunction, I guarantee you, I know he's been grinding all the time that he goes live, every time that he, tries to protect his content by having to tell someone no when they throw a tantrum. When he sits there and listens to shit he doesn't give a fuck about, whether he's open to it and he tries or not, the fact is it's a grind.
Yeah.
People donating, he appreciates everyone. He shouts them out. He tries to do everybody correctly and right. And that's why I fuck with him, because there are people that people will donate. And there's a difference. Now, if you're big enough, and I'm going to give an example. Knox Hill is big enough that he gets these donations. He shouts every single one of them out, which I appreciate from him as a person.
Right.
However, people don't complain at him when he misses them until he gets a moment to go back and go through them, because they know his chat's flying. They know that he's doing this, that, and the other, right? So he kind of gets a pass because of the size of his audience and the size of his channel. I get that. But
yeah, you're going to... go ahead.
The content that we're putting out, for example, here, the donations are not common here. And everyone that we get is appreciated. However, the content that we're putting out on this channel is conversation. So I'm not going to stop you while you're talking about, let's say, something or a point that you're trying to make. I'm not going to say, and stop you, because the fact for me to get back to the sentence I was at is like next to impossible, let alone expecting anyone else to.
Very difficult for me.
Which is why, like, I usually send a disclaimer. I'm like, everybody, and actually started this the other day, where I was like, people need to breathe. Every like 30 seconds of whatever you're saying, just breathe. Let me like, hey, by the way, I gotta say it, because you hear me. I jump in and then go back to what you were saying. It just is to acknowledge the chat and acknowledge the people that are really messing with us and show up and show love, right?
Right.
There's just so many different elements that go into every piece of it. You do live streams, you do music, you sing, and you do instrumental. You're a badass on the fucking guitar. It's ridiculous. You are a graphic designer. You're a producer. Like, come the fuck on. Like, is there? I'm gonna be like, oh, is there anything you can't do? I'm sure there are things you can do.
Absolutely not. There is nothing.
There's nothing you can't do. Can you fly with your own arms?
You got me. You got me.
Got him. Mic drop. And that's the podcast, y'all. Got him. No, I'm kidding.
Well, yeah, and it's
facts,
tough.
dysfunctional. Yes, absolutely. It's the least a content creator can do in any
Right.
capacity, whether you're an artist, whether you're a reactor, whether you're a podcaster. It's the least you can do is for someone to take their money that is it's theirs. It's not yours. There's nothing, I don't care who you are. No one owes you shit. And if anyone volunteers to give their money to you to show love, to show support, to help you, you damn fucking right. It deserves a shout out and acknowledgement.
Yeah. And that's, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna add on to that with buying music is like, to me, it's not. It really isn't the money. It's that I've touched on it already earlier, but you can hear everything I have ever done. If you really want to, you can hear it for free. And that's kind of the world we live in. Like I said, so it's not necessary. It's not the money. Like, oh, I care that I got the money. It's that, we're so saturated with so much music, with so many artists, so many content creators doing so many things. And frankly, a lot of people, like we've already said too, doing just making trash, or a lot of people doing basically the same thing as somebody next to them, that for somebody to value it enough to say, in the world we live in of instant gratification, and the world we live in where you can get a lot of content, a lot of art, especially music and stuff, basically for free, that I'm going to give you a couple bucks, that means a lot.
Absolutely.
That means a lot.
Absolutely, because I have gone into a hole. I've put myself in positions that I shouldn't be in, trying to show love, and the thing is that a lot of people have expectations. Like, if I support reactors, they expect me to request a song, and I don't want to be like, I'm the benevolent bitch over here. I'm just gonna throw money at you. So I request a song, but I make sure that I make it monetarily worthwhile. However, because I love to do that so much, and it's not because I want to hear my song. I do actually want to hear it, and I want to hear it right then because I'm too damn busy. I can't wait. Like, I can't wait till for 4 hours to hear it. Like, I need to hear it and then dip out because my kids need me, or I have to get to sleep, or have 35 other lives I have to jump in and say hi to, and unfortunately, not unfortunately,
you had a very sympathetic little story the other night when you stepped on me and Bowser's.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you betcha.
No, but I understand what you mean. What I mean is it makes sense.
But here's the thing. I don't bullshit about it, like, at all. Like, if I want somebody to do something for me, like, and when it comes to, like, I want you to react to a song I want to hear, it's probably 50-50. I want to hear the song, and 50% I want to show some love.
Right.
But here's the thing. If I'm going to show you love and I get a song for it, I want to actually hear it. And the thing is, I don't have time to sit through and I love people to pieces. I love people that stick around. I love people that show up. I love people that sit in my content and listen the whole time and talk in the chat. I love it. However, y'all know how busy I am. I just can't, right? Because if I'm going to show you love, I have only so many hours in the day. I can't sit in a 7-hour fucking live, right? and show
Right, exactly.
love. I have like 6 other 7, 8, 9 people that are going live at the same time, and I'd love to show them even like 5 minutes or a flyby, and that's it. It's not because I love you any less. It's just because.
Yeah.
So I will
Trust
donate.
me, I get it.
Like, I will donate to get my song now. I
Yeah,
want it
right.
now. It's not because I'm a bougie ass bitch who wants instant gratification. It's because it's like, chop chop, I ain't got the time, y'all. And it's not mean. It's literally, I don't have the time. Like, I have to go to bed and I have to get up and work in like 3 hours. Like, y'all need to play this now, or can I get a refund? Like,
Right. No, trust me, I get it. I mean, I can't spend a whole lot. Like, I do my best to, drop into,
yeah.
people's lives when I can, but I'm in the same way. It was just like you just said though about like the music production. I mean, if 3 minutes of music, 3.5 minutes of music, I probably have hundreds of hours invested into that 3.5 minutes.
Right.
Plus I have a family and a life outside of music and outside of I can't, like you said, I can't go and sit in somebody's live for 7 hours. It's just not I physically don't have the time to sit in somebody's live for hours. I just don't.
Mine,
but I do try to come in. I will always, if I see somebody's live that I fuck with, even if I literally don't even watch a minute of it, I will go in and hit the like and I will say hi.
See,
in the chat.
I do the same thing, and I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell anybody. Here's a fun fact. This is a full disclaimer. You can pass this on. You can quote me on this. Okay. The content creators in any capacity, right? I'm talking Instagram lives, because I fucking hate Instagram lives. If I jump in your Instagram live and you I can't stand that shit, because then you can't do anything else on your phone and you're stuck there watching and it sucks. The chat is like 2 people tall. It sucks. Or if I jump in your YouTube live, or if I jump in your Premiere, or if I do a flyby and you're like, oh, well, I guess she's already gone. Fine. Bye. That's the last like you're getting from me. And here's why.
Right.
Because people that know me in any capacity understand the pressure that I'm under to try to at least show appreciation, respect, and love, and jump in. And it's not easy. Sometimes I can lurk. I can open 17 tabs. But if you're going live during the day, if you're going live at midnight, I just can't, right? If I stop in and fly by, it's because I care about you enough that I'm going to show up and I'm going to drop a like. If I can drop a comment, I'm dropping a comment. I'm going to make a comment in the chat so that I want you to know I love you and I appreciate you. I'm doing a flyby, and I'll say it. I'm doing a flyby. Appreciate you.
I do the same thing.
By the time they respond, I'm usually out of there already. It's not because I don't like them. I don't care about them. I don't care about their content. It's because I'm making dinner, because I just worked an 8-hour or 12-hour shift depending on the day, and I went on my live like now, and then right after I get off, I go through whoever's live and I jump into theirs to say hi. I've been talking for 3 hours. I'm beat, y'all. After an 8-hour shift at work, I'm fucking beat. So, and my kids still need me, and I still need to finish cleaning my house. So I'm stopping in just to show some respect and love. And people that are like, either they blow me off. I'm not saying that people have to acknowledge me every time, but if they blow me off completely, like every single time, like she's not even gonna stay, right?
Right.
But if they acknowledge the fact, hey, Kat, bye, Kat, and they know, that tells me they know I'm already out. But that's the only thing I can do, and I do it out of love. And there's dysfunctional. I can vouch for Kat's flybys. Damn right you can.
Well, and I would say, my thoughts on it are, if someone doesn't understand all of what you just said without you even having to explain it, about just like, we all have lives and we have things and we have families and kids and whatever. Somebody who doesn't understand that's probably not somebody I'm that interested in fucking around with anyway.
No, exactly. And it's like,
as a person.
The funny fact is that there are times that I do a flyby, which when I say a flyby, I'm talking about actually dropping a comment in the chat. But the reason I say the words flyby is, by the way, it's from Tom McDonald, where he says, he's in the Don't Look Down, where he talks about doing a flyby rather than a drive-by, right?
I think of it every time I type it.
But that's exactly what I'm talking about. However, I'm doing a flyby, and I say that because I don't want anyone to think that if they say something to me, I'm going to respond because I'm probably already gone. But if I say something, sometimes I drop a like and I leave without saying a word, right?
Right.
Because every time I see somebody live, I jump in, I drop a like.
Right.
No, exactly. Dysfunctional. Skullz was at the last stream for like a minute or two, and he still appreciates it. Exactly. Because the fact is that you got the click, you got the like. I know that watch time's a big thing. However, I'm on a laptop, and sometimes I'm like scared to break it, so I don't keep that many open. Sometimes I need to close it and like get my head straight. But if anyone doesn't understand the concept behind saying it, to say, I want you to know I appreciate you. A flyby is an appreciation. It's saying, I love you. I can't stay. You're awesome.
Right.
Gots to go. Peace. Bye. Like that's literally what it is.
The reality is, if you're busy doing things, you don't have to do that. So the way I see it is, even that couple 30 seconds of effort should say to people that are, again, like people who wouldn't understand it are probably people I wouldn't get along with anyway. But the people who do understand it, like that's exactly, they understand that 30 seconds was 30 seconds of value. It was 30 seconds you didn't have to take, that you chose to.
Have a good night, Dysfunctional. I know you got to get back on it. It's all good. Appreciate you, bro. Hit me up in the DMs. You know that. I've already been trying, but I might have forgotten. Again. And yes, congratulations on your huge achievement. You deserve it. You've entertained the masses. You have grounded out. You deserve every bit of that. Trust me, I've seen the work that you do. I appreciate you, man. But that's the thing, is it's like people, that's another thing. And this is content creators, and I'm talking specifically in this moment, flybys or like lives. It also applies to artists, right? So, for example, you specifically, if you do go live, you generally tend to go live at a time that I can't be there. It just is what it is.
Not on purpose, I promise.
No. And it's not that at all. It's because I work 8 to 5 Central Time, flat out. I can work 8 to 5. I hate my fucking hours. I'm like, everybody else is like in New York. Why can't I work like 7 to 4 or like 6 to 3? That'd be great. Why do I have to take an hour lunch? Can I take a half an hour, take a smoke break, and then go back to work? I'd get off half an hour early. That'd be great too. No, absolutely dysfunctional. Seriously. I love you to pieces. Let's have a conversation. And there's Carly. Oh my God. Welcome to your home.
Carly?
She's been stuck in fucking Atlanta for like 2 days. I mean, stuck in Atlanta. I have to be like PG because she's here. I'm just kidding. But no, welcome in, Carly. I love you to pieces, honey. I know you went live earlier, and I'm so sorry. I think I'd already gone. So
that's not what you said to me.
Don't even start with me. Don't even play this. Not funny.
Nope. We were doing sound check, and she was like, "Fucking Carly going live right now. What the fuck?"
I did not. Well, sort of, but I didn't mean it in that context. I was like, God damn it, of course she's going live right now. Because that meant I can't be there because I'm about literally 5 minutes or 3 minutes from going live myself. She did. She drove with 2 strangers from Atlanta to her home, which she now lives on the East Coast. And she went live a couple times. God. She was in the airport for like 2-3 days. It was stupid. They kept canceling stuff. They said they couldn't get her a hotel. So she is, no offense, not trying to be an asshole, but a single woman, gorgeous woman, right? Stuck in an airport without any like commodities or anything. There's no hotel or anything that you can like get some rest. I think you did get rest at one point, but like you're stuck. You have to sit there for like 16 hours a day hoping you get on a flight.
Why wouldn't they get her a hotel?
And Nick got stuck in Phoenix when he wasn't even supposed to be in Phoenix on his way to Texas. This whole airport debacle is ridiculous.
I don't even know I'm not following what's going on.
Like basically they're canceling flights. People aren't showing up. There's some kind of, I don't know what's happening. I haven't researched it, but
Does it have to do with fuel?
I have no idea. I don't know. See, from Friday to Sunday, she slept like 6 hours because she was stuck in the damn airport. And then she met a couple around her age. There's a worker strike. Okay. Is that for Delta or for all the airlines? Is it just for Delta? Because like I said, Nick, he flies Southwest like I do. Truth flies Delta like you do. Or I don't know if you do Delta, but I know Just Jen does Delta because she told me that. So Delta had issues. Nick got stranded so that he had issues on Southwest. Like, it's ridiculous. But she met a couple around her age, right, at the airport, and they decided to drive from Atlanta north. And she hitched a ride for, like, what'd she say, 13 hours.
Oh, my God.
To get home, because she was sitting around for days, and if she'd have waited another 13 hours, she might have got on a flight and got home in an hour and a half, but she drove the same 13 hours, she would have been there anyway, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's a Delta, American, and Southwest then.
Oh my God, that's horrible. The airport is there's nothing worse than being stuck in an airport.
Well, see, and my kids have flown. I don't fly like at all, but my kids, like my daughter went to Florida to meet her sister for the first time right after spring break, and my son would come out here and visit me and things like that, and there was never any problem. Like there was just not a problem. 7 flights canceled. See?
Oh my God.
American Airlines 100 grounded flights that day because not enough people to work.
Oh,
okay, so here's the
crazy.
question: is it because
What are they striking over?
Are they striking because so they said not enough people to work?
Vaccine mandates or something still, or is it about pay or?
Well, that's what I'm asking. Like, was it because there weren't enough people to work? Like, they don't have enough employees, or is it because they chose to strike because there's not enough employees? Like, I can see that happening. Like, we don't have enough people to make all this happen within the time constraints that they do.
That's really crazy. This shows you how I see. When I told you I don't watch the news earlier, I was being serious. This is wild.
All my news has come from Carly. And Carly, I have been sending your stories to Just Jen. You know, Just Jen Reacts.
Yeah,
I've been sending your stories to her because she just flew back from, I think, Tennessee. I don't know where she was. She was in a fucking cabin, like a pretty cabin, and she's like, "Oh, it's on sale. It's on sale. It's on the market." So she looked at the price just to, and it was like $850,000. She's like, "Nope." She left. But no, I'm just saying, I've been sending your stories, and I've been sending Nick's stories to Truth because he's about to travel to come here. So I'm like, you guys are my news. I don't watch the news either, ever.
Yeah, that's wild. I can't believe I haven't heard of this. This is wild.
No, it's serious.
What's up, Larry?
People have been stranded all over the place. And, like, thanks to Carly, I see other people posting about it and stuff. And I don't think it's like they targeted Carly or they targeted Nick. Like, 'cause that would be really weird. Right. Like, that would be really weird. And they targeted Jared and stuff. So there must be
controversial YouTube content they make.
Well, now, do you know that they're saying that there's been like 6 or 7 coal train accidents where they've lost all that coal in the last 30 days?
Yeah, there's all kinds of weird stuff. I did see there was like a bunch, like tens of thousands of like cattle died randomly
in
one day or
Kansas.
something.
Oh yeah, which is funny because that's like where my kids are. Like they're all born in Kansas City, so.
Yeah, and then I randomly, not in the same thing, because like I said, I don't really dive into stuff because it's honestly, the news is just kind of depressing to me. But I like coincidentally later that day saw a story about like the largest like processing plant to make like some kind of, I don't know, it's for like processing insects for human consumption. And or something happened the same day that like all these cows died. I was like, what?
No, I appreciate it, Carly. Thank you for swinging by. I mean, I'm sorry. Obviously, I wasn't in there with you, but I love you to pieces, and I was glad to see that you were live. And you ever need me, hon, you know how to reach me. I love you to pieces.
Yeah, glad you made it home.
Absolutely. And by the way, I'm super stoked that hopefully the airlines will function. Obviously, Nick got here to Texas. I'm hoping Truth will make it as well. And you never know, because I would love to. I can't wait for those pictures. Y'all don't judge. But I'm super stoked. So I'm excited. I get to have a vacation without leaving my house.
I wouldn't know how excited you are. I haven't heard about how excited you are like every day.
I'm so super stoked. I love you,
it's really
Carly.
cool.
Have fun on Twitch.
See you, Carly.
You're gonna what part of wait, whoa. What part of Texas? Houston? We have a problem. Carly needs to come here. Because I'm cleaning my fucking house anyway. You might as well. Just saying.
It cooled down yet?
What was it in here? It's 102 in here right now. Fort Worth.
Oh my god.
So it's like Dallas area. So okay, fine. You can go visit Aggie or somebody or Asian BJ, but gas is too expensive to come see you, honey. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're not kidding.
But no, like it's really cool though. But I don't listen to mainstream anything. I don't listen to the radio, and I don't pay attention to the news. Any news I get is like somebody will mention something, and then I'll go look it up. I don't go to anything. The only thing I saw by accident that Google recommended is because I swiped too many times, and I saw my Google, like if you swipe to the right, it'll give you Google News, and I never check it because it gives me all kinds of weird shit. It says that Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki are cool with doing a 16th season of Supernatural. Let's fucking go. Other than that,
oh my God.
Other than that, I don't care. I just don't care.
Yeah. I have one news app on my phone, and it's an international source. So like I don't often see, unless something really, really profound like happens in the United States, I don't really see it because I just look at like international news. So
I have a weather app that cusses at me and makes funny comments. Hold on, let me see what it says right now. I'm gonna go to it. Hot take, y'all. Let's go. Give me a second. I'm updating it, so it's today. It was last updated at 4:56. Let's see what it says now. I hit the refresh. Because why are you not refreshing? Is my finger too big to like hit? I hit the whole app. Hold on, it's coming up.
my weather app tries to sell me things. My weather app tries to get me to pay for the weather app I have, for it to give me like 2 extra days of the forecast.
Okay, so my weather app just said, let's do this. It says, Sugar Land, Texas, United States, 89 degrees, Monday, June 20th. It's 100. It feels like over 100.
Oh my God.
Okay. 89 degrees, it still feels like 100. That's fucked up. Just saying. Just putting that out there. Like,
yeah, that's bad. I lived in sorry, go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
No, it just says it's like a humid shit show outside, and my ass crack is the star. Lights,
oh my God. You've
camera,
shared this stuff,
action.
This sounds very familiar. You've shared these before, haven't you?
I have. This is my the forecast app.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't think it. I lived in Texas for a very short time. It was actually the first place I was stationed was at Fort Hood, but I don't think it got as hot as it probably does down where you are.
Yeah, it's muggy right now. Like we want it to rain, and it's funny because any rain that comes at Houston, literally, just think of like Gone with the Wind. It lifts its skirts and steps over Houston, so it hits everywhere. Galveston, North Houston, but Sugar Land, Southwest side. It's just like, I declare, and just like walks right over us.
Oh my God.
And so I'm like watering the yard for no apparent reason because it's sun's so hot. It's like my grass is like, the fuck did that do? Like
boil the water that you're watering it with.
Exactly. Oh, Larry, have fun doing your workout.
Yeah, see you, Larry.
What post, Bill? Which one? I posted a lot of weird shit lately. That's because I get like super anxious, and then I was literally posting like 30 animals that asked for humans help, and I was like, oh, like through all of it, and then there was like 40 animals. Like, okay, so I went on a whole rabbit hole last night. That was crazy. I still have to clean tonight, which sucks. Because if I don't, of course I have to work tomorrow. And then my mom's like, hey, let's go to dinner. And I'm like, that's amazing. That would be great, right? But tomorrow's the last day I have left that I can clean my house before. If Truth does come in on Wednesday, I'm fucked if I don't clean tomorrow. But I have to work. So how am I supposed to work and clean?
You better clean tonight.
I'm gonna clean. I was up to like 1 o'clock last night. And I've got 2 5-hour energy shots. I plan on being up to like whatever. Because tomorrow, by the way, midnight is my birthday, y'all. My birthday's a big deal to me. Because
I will be sure to drop in to the Discord.
Last year, it was on a Sunday. Or no, a Monday. It was on a Monday. And Nick did Sunday night game night. And it was all about my birthday. He did
that's
that for
cool.
me. Yeah, because by that time I'd already been modding. It was just me and Heidi modding for him. We were the only ones, we modded his Discord, his YouTube, whatever. We were there every single time for everything that he did. And he threw a fucking party. Like, it was all about Cat
That's
the
really
whole
cool.
time, which was amazing. And then this year, motherfucker upped the ante, and he's here. Y'all, he's here.
That's awesome.
I could literally be like, what's up, bro? Want to go to Whataburger? And he'd be like, bet. And 10 minutes later, we'll be at Whataburger.
Oh my God.
He's that close.
I do miss that as long as it's been since I've been in Texas.
Yeah, well, you have to understand, if y'all don't understand the anxiety that's coming with, I know everybody think it's so cool, like Nick's going to be here and that Truth. If the airports, you have to understand that.
Oh, thank you, Jared.
There's a whole aspect to the whole airline thing. Obviously, Carly just said it. Nick was living it the other day. If Truth decides to fly in, if he can, he's got his family and stuff. If it's going to be an issue and they cancel their flights and stuff, who knows? So we're just waiting on the final for that. But the thing is that I don't know if anybody's aware of this. I know some people are. I moved here in 2018, right? I left everybody and everything behind. My mother lives here, and that's it. So aside from people that I go into the gas station at the same time with, like they just happen to be in there at the same time I'm in there, and aside from the people I talk to here online, in the community, in Discord, in lives, in wherever I might be, I have literally not had anybody to my house ever. So, and I haven't met up with anybody that I actually give a fuck about, other than being at the store with them, in well over 5 years.
You probably have like extreme anxiety then about all this.
I'm panicking. I'm literally panicking. I'm not just panicking, self-conscious panicking, like, self-esteem panicking. It's not just that, because, I know who I am. I know I've never lied about it. I've never been like, oh, I'm like this hot, sexy bitch. No, I'm like, I know I'm a big girl. I get that. Like, it's not a big deal. However, there's just aspects to meeting up with somebody that I've never met in person. That's one thing. But to be somebody that's so public, and that I'm public with them, public, like I'm affiliated with them. I want pictures. I want to post them. I want them to post them. However, that's not even the problem. The issue is I don't know how to interact with people in real life. Like, yeah. I'm a hermit.
I think that's a lot of people, I think, these days,
A lot of people that are like doing music at home or full time, doing content or artistry or whatever it may be. They tend to be, they're not introverts, but they act that way, right? So their lifestyle is an introverted lifestyle. It's kind of like their little bubble that they're in. When you've locked yourself into it, it's very, very, very hard to come out of it. So I'm panicking.
You touched on it earlier about like the aspect of like being tired and stuff, and with like these things. Like, I'm the kind of person, I can be very, very social and very conversational, but I am actually extremely introverted. And like when we're done tonight, I will need like 30 minutes to just kind of like breathe and just kind of decompress, because like it can be for me being like really social, even though it comes pretty natural to me, and I like I said, I can be very conversational when I need to be. It takes a lot of energy from me, you know. And
Yeah,
like,
I get that.
because you were talking about with, you know, so like all the different stuff that we have going on in our lives, and just like being tired and trying to be present and all that kind of stuff, you know. It's yeah, I don't know, I don't really have any more of a point than that, but it's just
Well,
like
no, I get that because
it's
no, I have to decompress too. And my thing is, everybody knows I read. I read my dirty books, and it's fun. I told you, and I told you before we got on tonight. I was like, I just got off work. You knew that.
right.
We were talking about some other stuff or some other upcoming stuff because y'all know I already said this earlier. He helps me with all of my graphics and the promotion videos, and we got some really fucking big things coming up on this channel in the next couple weeks. And Wolf, you've researched what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not playing around. Do not sleep on these podcasts and the people that we're bringing on. Like, legit, do not miss them. Not because I just want you to watch my content, because these people are fucking fire.
Yeah, no, there's some big stuff coming.
Are killing it with what they're doing, and it's gonna be great. And I just want y'all to be a part of it because I love you guys, honestly. But when I get off work, right? Because I'm on the computer all day, and of course I'm talking on Discord, and then I'm blowing off my work. So then I panic and I listen to audiobook and I get back on my work, and then I get off work. I just have to. The first thing, and Skullz knows this too. The first thing I do, I come outside, I light up a cigarette, right? I open up my book and I look at my book and I start reading. I read up until like I lied. I set up the screens for the podcast, and then I close my computer or restart it, and then I read a book until like 45, 50. Bearcat, hey, welcome back, DK.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I have to do that. I have to zone out. So what I need to do is snap out of work mode, which is what it is, and I need to snap out of that, and then when I'm ready, oh, it's time to go, I snap into that mode. When I'm done here, the first thing, I know what I'm going to do. The first thing I'm going to do when we're done, right, is we're going to talk for a couple minutes, and then we're going to get off, and then I'm going to go through the YouTube. I'm going to see who I miss, see who's still alive, if there's somebody I want to shout out, and then I'm going to stop, check on my kids, or one or the other. It depends if I have to pee first or not. And then, I mean, I'm just being sincere. And then I will turn around and I'm going to read my book, because I just need to disappear for a little bit, you know?
Right.
Because holding a conversation is not exhausting in and of itself. Wondering, I always do this every time I get off of a live, and if you know this, you know this, if you know, you know. Every time I get off of a live, I sit there and go, I wonder if I said anything really ridiculous or stupid. Because I by the way, I know I have.
Yep, I know exactly what you mean.
Because Skullz knows this. I don't know if you guys know this. I never, ever, ever, by the way, ever go back and listen to the podcasts. And he keeps pushing me. He's like, you really should make like little clips of the podcasts to put out as like, here's a 15-minute section that was like a really good
idea,
conversation.
actually.
Here's the problem. If anybody, right? If anybody is interested in potentially not clipping, but giving me timestamps for a really good conversation that I can clip out, like I would download that episode and then I would like go to that timestamp and I would pull it and make a video of it. I would truly appreciate it. You can let me know. Hit me up.
Yeah, it's a really good idea, but I understand, like, for some, you don't have time.
No, I
do
can't.
That yourself. There's no way.
I can't make myself go back and listen to myself speak. I can't do it.
No, I get it.
I can't do it.
I get it.
Because I'll hear myself speak and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I stumbled over that word. Oh my God, why did I sound like that? Oh my God. I judge myself. Y'all think that people are judgmental? We judge ourselves a billion times worse.
Oh yeah, I am my own worst critic. And I mean, I do my best in conversation to be to be present. In fact, there was something you had said earlier, I was going to say this actually about, is that like it's actually almost again, I don't know if it has something to do with the times we live in or whatever, but it like you almost have to make a conscious effort anymore, really, just be in a conversation and
Yeah.
actually be listening and not just kind of waiting for your turn or thinking about what you say. Because I have a horrible tendency, which I've done it tonight several times. I'll have moments where not even listening back to it, I'll be thinking about something like, oh shit, did I say something? Like, I'll think of a specific thing that I already said while I'm still here or while I'm still live or whatever,
Right.
where I'm like, oh my God, what did I say? I hope, because this, like, side note, my like absolute biggest fear in life in general is being misunderstood. I don't care if people like me or don't like me, but I want them to like me or not like me because they understand what it is that I said or did, and not because it was misinterpreted or taken out of context. It's like my biggest fear. I just want to make sure, whether you like it or not, that I articulated it in a way where what I meant for it to mean you understood. It's
Well,
like my biggest thing.
that means that to you, context is everything, right? Because
Yeah.
everything you see needs to be within context, and I get that. And I'll tell you that my biggest fear is very, very, very close. That is actually I'm in relationships and friendships and things. I tend to say, let me just be clear. Let me be honest. Like I will
Right.
preface what I say with those kind of terminology because I want people to understand this is what I'm trying to say, right?
Right.
Or
Yeah.
like, don't take me the wrong way, or I hope you understand. You hear me say it all the time. However, that is not my biggest fear. My biggest fear is public humiliation, which ironically, since I've let myself become a public person, whether there is 5 or 15 or 5,000 people listening at this moment, the fact is still a big thing. I used to call off every April Fool's Day because I don't know how to handle pranks well. Like, I don't
Right.
take public embarrassment or people laughing at me. It's not a
Oh yeah.
it's a big deal.
Oh,
Like, for
and
example, and people know I referenced this the other day. My daughter's like the fight, right? Which I broke up in the video, that the chick that was taking video of it, because that's what people do instead of, like, I don't know, not letting a fight happen because the fuck.
right.
I'm in the video and you can see I'm not small, and I'm a big girl. I'm coming down the driveway. You can see me walking down. The video they posted didn't include me breaking up the fight. However, the video that did have me breaking up the fight, there was one that they posted that my daughter can't have access to. She only gave me the one that she had access to. But the other one had a little bit more where I broke up the fight, and they accused me of like, you hit her, whatever. I'm like,
Right.
you're a grown-ass woman hitting a kid. Well, fuck off. Like, get out of my yard. Like, get off my property and stop ganging, like, stop jumping my child. Anyway, but the first thing that people said, the immediate thing, and it bothered me for like 30 seconds, but it bothered me a lot, like really to the bottom of everything I am. Oh my God, her mom's a fat ass bitch. That's disgusting. Oh my God, go on a fucking diet, you whore. Like, what is your problem? Eat more, think less. Like, stupid fucking bully shit. And I'm almost 40 years old. Tomorrow I'm 39. That hurt. Not because they said it about me, because my daughter, the fight was about my daughter on
Right.
blast, right? And
Right.
all that people could talk about was how disgusting her mother was. That hurt.
Yeah.
Because as much as it hurts me, because it does, I don't care if they're 5, I don't care if they're 30, I don't care if they're 15. I can brush it off. I can handle it. It hurts, though. However, for my child to have an issue because of it, that hurts a billion times worse, right? And then, of course,
Yeah. Oh,
because
absolutely.
apparently some of the people in the comments were like, hell yeah, you're right to defend your mom. You're absolute, because that's what the whole fight started about. Is because the girl was talking shit on my daughter, well, on me and my other child, the youngest one, her little sister, and so that's why she was fighting the girl, is for talking shit on her family. Which I'm like, go girl. That's why I took my sweet ass time getting there to break up the fight. Anyway, but the thing is like, that I can handle. And then when people are like, oh yeah, you know, if anybody comes at your mom, you definitely should come at them. Like, you don't allow that. That's family. So since that argument of, oh, she's fat, like, okay, so who cares? I'm a racist now, in case y'all didn't know, apparently. Who knew? Like, who knew?
I'm glad. Oh, thanks for telling me almost 3 hours in.
Oh yeah, apparently I am, because literally, she read off some of the
I wouldn't have been
posts.
here had I known.
Your mom broke up the fight. She's a racist. What? Like, what? How does that fucking work? No, but I'm just saying, like, public humiliation, and by the way, the video's gotten like 7,000 views. And a lot of them started because it's their friends that started it. So in the vicinity, which made me kind of concerned to go to the gas station or places around the area, like if people will recognize me as the person on that video. It really is upsetting, and it's upsetting for my child. Like, it's bad. So not being misunderstood is one thing, and I get that. Like, that is literally my second biggest fear. Well, actually, I lied. My third biggest fear is being misunderstood. My second is being publicly humiliated, and my first is spiders. So
Spooters.
Yeah. Spooters.
Yeah, well, and you know, yeah, and no, and I agree. And I think, like, when I say being misunderstood, that's what it is too. Is like that, just that whole take out of. And I assure you, I'm not going to get into the details, and you know them. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I've been publicly humiliated very early in my little journey into the public discourse, or the public realm of content creation and music. And yeah, I mean, it's just
well, here's the thing. If it makes you feel any better, people trying to, like, discredit you have apparently decided that they're gonna, like, attach me to that just as, like, a side note. So I'm right there with you.
I know.
However, here's the fun fact. If your opinion means shit to me, I don't fucking care. Like, who cares? Who cares? Because here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I've had people tell me, like, hey, you know, just be wary, this, that, or the other. And I'm like, cool. I appreciate you. Good looking out. You have been nothing but amazing. You have literally done nothing but help me. For what? I mean, honestly, what do I give you? Nothing. I give you nothing. You don't get any monetary value. You don't get any, like, major clout. You don't get anything. You help me because we're friends. That's it.
Right.
That's literally it. And so for anyone else to disparage you in any way, if anyone has a problem with you, I'm going to make this a very, very public, literal statement. You can clip this. I don't give a fuck. If anyone has a problem with you over their own things that are going on with them, that sucks. Unless you did something to their child, unless you did something heinous and disgusting. I can I'm a grown-ass fucking woman, and I can make my own decisions. And you have been nothing but kind to me. You have gone so far above and out of your way to help me, to be there for me, to be a good friend to me, to help this channel, everything, right? And that's not including just you're a decent person, that you're a talented person, that you're badass at what you do. That's just a personal level, right? So I don't give a rat's fucking ass what anyone else says or thinks. If they have a problem with you and they want to make issues with you, I believe you. It's that simple.
All right. Well, and
if we were in middle school and you did people behind you with their pom-poms, I got your back. I'm just saying.
No, I appreciate that. And but you know what the one thing I was going to say, and this again, this isn't getting into details or anything, but I also I learned things too, because I think when I stepped into this not that long ago, and I say, stepped into this, like kind of putting myself into the public eye, there were things that I probably went about the wrong way with good intention, but not understanding how they were taken by people too, because literally I just didn't realize what I was doing. And just to kind of be transparent, I did reach out when I again, when I stepped into this, I did start reaching out to people personally, kind of like, hey, I'm new at this, I'm making music, and like just looking for people to connect with and stuff. And I think that when I was initially trying to kind of make connections with other people, whether it be content creators, reactors, other musicians, I can see how they have probably been approached in a similar way by people who were shady people who were trying to fucking use them. And that is my responsibility and my mistake. But again, it was not done with ill intent.
I'm going to stop you right there. And here's what I'm going to say. And I know I'm right. So you can think, oh, well, maybe that's your perspective. I don't give a shit. I'm right. So here's the thing.
Yes,
if you approach somebody, let's just say somebody's in a community, okay? By the way, I don't poach people. I tell people, hey, if you're interested, this, that, and the other. And by the way, everybody that I fuck with knows exactly, they know that people are involved with my community, or that I will offer them my community if I'm in their community. Like, not as a, hey, you just jump. By the way, like, new people in the Knicks community, I haven't reached out to them. I don't know them like that, right? But if I know them like that, I reach out to them. And I'm like, if the context of the conversation comes up to that, that's different, right? So here's the thing. Anyone that you reach out to and are like, hey, this, that, or the other, how is that, if they choose to participate in your content, how is that on you? That is, maybe it's one of those Jerry Springer, do you blame the other girl or do you blame the guy? Right? So there is enough success on YouTube, Spotify, all these different platforms, right? For everyone to get success and to rise up together and to help each other out and to lift each other up. There is no reason, none whatsoever, that someone cannot subscribe to 200 different people on YouTube, and what the fuck does it matter, right? What the fuck does it matter? So anyone that's like, oh my God, you can only subscribe to me, you can't subscribe to somebody in my community because, there's no reason for it. By the way, there's no answer to that or ending to that sentence. That's literally what it is. You can subscribe to anybody you want to. You can fuck with whoever you want to. I'm in over 70 fucking Discords. I can be in anyone's Discord. And if you tell me I cannot be in a different person's Discord because I'm in yours, I promise you, your Discord is gone. That minute. The second I see that, it's gone. Because people can fuck with whoever they want. And they can like someone, for example, they can love BTS, and then they can love I was trying to think of the exact opposite. Let's say Lorna Shore, right? They can
I would say me.
Well, no, Lorna Shore is like
I got
like that's what that is. So BTS and that, I figure, are on opposite ends of the spectrum. So you can love both. And you could be in Discords and content, and you can support content creators and artists that are at both sides of the spectrum. You can have techno, you can have EDM, trap music, you can have country, you can have, throat singing, you can have opera, you can have musicals, Celtic women. Who the fuck is anyone to tell you that because you have content that someone decided in your community that they're going to fuck with, and they decided to join your community, and they were already in theirs, that now, how dare you have content they like? How could you? Fucking whatever. This is the person who decided to fuck with both of whoever it may be. They chose to do that. They chose to check it out. So why is it like taking someone and joining multiple discords does not take away from the original intent? Hog Discord, if you're in Nova's or Tom's, and you're in mine, and you're in Nick's, and you're in Bearcats, and then you're in Wolf's, and then you're in Truth Server, does that mean that you're betraying someone? No. That's petty middle school bullshit. It's bullshit. And anyone that is like throws a tantrum over it, just shut the fuck up. Go back to middle school. Go to a dance. Like, lean in it with somebody. Like, hold hands and relearn how to be a fucking grown-ass adult without toxicity. Just saying.
Right. No, I agree with you 100%. Really the only thing that I'm trying to say in terms of like taking any responsibility of anything is that not knowing the landscape. All I'm saying is not knowing the landscape. I can understand how some of the things that I did in an attempt to network and connect with people, if you don't know who I am, could be taken the wrong way.
True, but if the community hadn't gotten rid of the network extraordinaire, right? All that shit could have been smoothed over. However, even though the network extraordinaire had no interest in fucking with any of that at all for a long time and just kind of went absent for a while, doesn't mean that they couldn't have smoothed that over and made it just make sense. Right. Because echo chambers are bullshit, and if you run an echo chamber, fuck you. I'm not interested. Right. So I'm just saying, there are ways to approach that where it's like, hey, not cool, man. Not cool. It doesn't mean as full out, oh my God, someone's trying to take over my shit. Right. Like, there's no reason to throw tantrums. And throwing tantrums months and months and months and months later is fucking lame. Stop. Right. Literally, just stop. Just full disclaimer. Yeah. PSA, y'all. I'm not talking to you, Wolf. I'm saying literally, y'all, you know what I'm doing. Just stop. Like, stop. Like, my name, stop. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I truly don't. Happy trails. Good luck to you. Sayonara. Yeah. I hope you do well. God bless.
Trust me.
Leave me the fuck alone.
I'm 100% on board with all of that. Like for me, I don't care what there are people who I don't care what they think. I think the only thing that became kind of like a residual fallout that still kind of gets under me and hurt, like it still hurts, is that it was like spread to people who knew nothing about the situation. Yeah, and that I think is kind of still do you see what I mean? It's not. I don't give a fuck about like certain people, what they think, what they say. There are certain people whose opinions are not important to me.
You're upset because at some point people that you do respect got a perspective that was inaccurate and not correct. I get that. Yeah. But here's the thing. Yeah. You can only do what you can do. You can only be as sincere as you can. You can only be yourself. And as long as you're not being disingenuous, as long as you're being straightforward and you're being honest, people will see that. They will understand that. They will appreciate that. If they don't, fuck them. And here's the thing. Yeah. I don't usually fuck with people that fuck with people that don't fuck with me. There are a couple exceptions, right? There are very few. But they have to be like my ride or dies, right? They just have to be. Otherwise, like, if someone were to be like, oh my God, I'm like, no, not going to do it. Like, you're not going to do that. And that's okay. Like, because my community, your community, all of it, it's like you're being in your own house. And I said this when I was talking to Trauma. I said this previously in other podcasts. It's like, I call it a mall, a neighborhood that's all like connected, like a mall, basically. Like each store is your home. You know, you walk in with the respect you would have for someone you don't know, and you take your if they say take your shoes off, you just fucking do it, because that's their rules and their house. You follow the rules. If Spencer's is like, don't touch any of the merchandise unless you're gonna pay for it, then you don't touch it. Like, it's just, you just do what you need to do, right? And then if that's not the vibe for you, you go somewhere else. It's fine. You could go to Spencer's, JCPenney's, you could go to Hot Topic, you could go to the movie theater that's in the mall, you could go to the food court. And it doesn't mean that because you go to all these places that you hate one or the other because you went somewhere else also. That's not how this shit works, y'all. It's not how it works. Everybody can fuck with whoever they want, however they want to, right? It's okay. You can show love to wherever you want. You can spend your money where you want. It's everybody's choice. And anyone that doesn't recognize that or thinks, well, because you went there, you're not allowed here. That's lame. It's middle school petty bullshit, and I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. And it's not welcome. That middle school petty bullshit where people aren't accepting of other people because they like something that someone else doesn't like, they can just let the door hit them or the good Lord split them. They can just get the fuck out. That's fine.
Right.
It's not gonna hurt me. What? I'm gonna lose a subscriber out of like 380? Cool. Happens every day. Up, down, one. Every day.
Yeah.
Larry says I hate on everybody, so no one's gonna say I have favoritism. Larry.
Yeah.
Suck my dick. Just saying. In case you didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of like been my philosophy, is like I just keep being myself and doing what I'm doing, and you know it's working out fine, you know.
No, exactly, and that's the thing, is that you have been nothing but kind to me. You have been nothing but helpful, and I appreciate you. And legitimately tonight, I don't care how many people view it. Like, I care. I want everybody to view it because I want them all to know. But everybody that matters to me, that fucks with me, I'm talking about close people to me. And you know this already because I know you've worked with some of them. They know who you are because I make sure they do.
Right.
When they're like,
that's very appreciated.
Oh my God, this is badass. Hey, it is, isn't it? Aren't I lucky? Here's who does it.
You are lucky.
But no, I really am.
I'm lucky.
Like, I legitimately really am. Like, there is no way I could find that quality without, like, I'm a single mom with a job that I can't work too much overtime because I put that time aside to mess with my content. So I have to pick and choose whether I have all this extra money. I lost my Medicaid benefits for my kids because I make too much money. Right? So now I have to make more money because I don't make enough to actually live off of. Like, it's a whole fucking thing.
Oh, trust me, I sympathize with all that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I put aside the time for this content. It matters to me. The community matters. I'm there every day, all day. I'm always in the Discord. Even if people think I don't see their comments, I do. I see all y'all's comments. Don't even play. But for you to help me up the way that you do is ridiculous. So you bet your ass every time someone's like, that's fucking fire. I'm like, hey, this is my guy. Here's his name. Here's his link to his Instagram. Every fucking time. Every single time. That's how we all support each other. That's what needs to happen. Yeah. Seriously.
I've told you, I think I said it to you pretty early on in us kind of working together, was like, I believe in standing up with people, not on people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think this community has really been, and I'm really grateful to be part of it.
No, absolutely. And the thing is that nowadays, as much as independent artists want to make or break themselves with their music, sometimes it is about the community, right? You got to have your people that are going to stick with you and support you. And I see a lot of them in this chat tonight that really fuck with you. And they really are there every time that you're live, every time that you drop something, every time that you're in your server, every time that, for example, we go live. They're here, right? Yeah, because they support you as a person. They support your grind, your music, and everything. So, you know, shout out to all of, you know, Wolf supporters and his ride or dies and his friends who 99%, I can't think of anyone that is his friend that is not mine that I wouldn't say, hey, I really fuck with them too. I haven't met one yet. I'm not saying there isn't wiggle room to find one that I'm like, fuck you, bro. But at this point, I haven't found one yet. So I recognize 99% of them.
Extensive background checks.
I'm just saying, I recognize 99% of them. So I really fuck with them as well. It's becoming on YouTube specifically. It's about your community and how you can build your community to get people that are going to come back and do that thing, you know?
Right.
And there's 15th Bend, who is, like you, a guitarist and
great guitar player.
Amazing
also.
at what he does. By the way, the intro, which, no offense, love you, 15th Bend, will be clipped out because it will go straight from the promo on the actual video once it gets rendered or whatever the fuck it does after I go live. Once I can edit it, I'm going to clip that out so that it's not like a bunch of wait time. I do that all the time, and everybody knows that. But that was his song, the Red. That's the one I was like, it's my song. He's like, okay. I'm like, no, really, it's my song. He's like, no, it's fine. I'm like, I want it. He's like, you can have it. I'm like, please. And he's like, no, I already told you could have it. So it was a whole thing. So that's who the intro was for.
Super talented guy.
No, absolutely. I love him to pieces. And I love you to pieces, and I appreciate you being
And very
here.
nice guy. Very, very nice guy.
Very supportive, shows up all the time, makes comments, supports other artists on like his Instagram. He puts them on his story. I don't comment.
He follows my Bandcamp, and if people follow my Bandcamp, that puts them in an extra special category.
I don't even fucking know what Bandcamp is. It's like that one time in Bandcamp.
That's what people say to me. No, Bandcamp is where like it's about the closest thing to like if you were to totally sell like on your own independently. Like most of the profit goes to the artist if you purchase through Bandcamp. So.
And one time at Bandcamp, I heard Wolf singing, and it was great.
Thank you. We won't discuss anything else from Bandcamp.
And one time at Bandcamp, you know, somebody broke my pussy and fixed it at the veterinarians. No, I'm kidding. That was a reference to Skullz. Shout out Skullz and his cat, who is out of sorts today. And I'm pain meds and fucking living on cloud 9 at the moment.
Yeah. Probably feeling better than all of us now.
That was epic as fuck. Anyway, I am winding down and I'm tired. I actually have to clean a little bit and then I have to go to work in the morning. So I was hoping I'm going to work at like 4 and maybe my boss would let me off like 3 hours early. I thought it'd be great. On my birthday, y'all. On my birthday, I'm hoping to go in at like 4 in the morning. Isn't that cool?
Oh my God.
But I really appreciate you coming through and I'm so glad we had you on because it shouldn't have taken this long, but I think it was the perfect time.
Yeah, I'm like super grateful. This was so much fun. I like this just in general, this kind of format of content I really enjoy. I think it's important to get to know people.
After this, you're not gonna like go in a corner and like hug your knees and cry. Like I didn't make you any kind of like crazy because I know I can be a little eclectic in my commentary. So,
Oh no, I thought this was going to we were going to end up talking about way more like controversial things than we did. This was nothing.
No, and don't get me wrong. I don't mind controversial things, but sometimes it needs to be about what matters a little bit more than like drama. Sometimes it needs to be, and don't get me wrong, I know that you've served in the military and I thank you for your service, which sounds like a canned response, but it is what it is. I know that has caused issues in the past. I know that there are things that we could talk about that could be issues. I know that I could have, and this sounds really stupid for me to say this, I could have led the conversation in that direction, but I chose not to because...
No, and I'm glad you didn't.
I don't think that's necessary. I think that showcasing you as a person, as a legitimate, kind, helpful, honest artist, content creator that I know and love is what I wanted to do. And I wanted
Well,
to just tell you how much I can't say it enough that I appreciate every single thing that you do for me. Because like I said, I make all the executive decisions. Like I do all the work and everyone else shows up. I love you, Skullz. Sorry.
fucking slave driver.
But I do everything except my graphics, and you do all of those for me, and it makes the channel. I'm not gonna lie. Like I could
I'm
just
glad
shut the fuck
that I
up and
could
just
be
show
a
your
part of it.
graphic, and that
Seriously.
could be it. Like that could be everything.
No, I'm really happy to be a part of it, and it feels good to be, appreciated for what I do. But it's like I said, it does a lot for me to do it, and that I'm grateful to be able to do it.
No, amazing. And by the way, shout out to DK for Skullz and his poor broken pussy. That's fucking perfect. Love it.
Yeah.
And just for fun, let me bring that up one more time because it needs to be brought up.
Yeah, I was gonna say too before we wrap it up. Oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say before we leave. But oh no, like with the conversation, I think I was actually kind of fully prepared for it to get into like darker stuff and get into my past and stuff, which I don't mind, by the way, talking about. But I totally agree with you. I think it was better the way that it went, and I just. It's probably even more so for the people listening, because I think if we had gone down that path, it would have just been the whole thing. And then,
well, if you want to do a whole thing, bro, I got you. It's gonna be in July though, because I'm like fucking burnt.
Yeah.
I'm not burnt out yet, but you know what my week looks like. You know what next week looks like. I'm gonna be like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
So if you want to do like a let's fucking go podcast, let's fucking go.
Yeah, let's do it. Whenever you want to, let's do it.
And here's the fun fact. Okay, who here thinks that I should bring Whiskey on with Wolf?
Yeah, I think it would be great, actually. You know what? Here's what's funny. After that, you know what I thought to myself is, Whiskey actually reminds me exactly of who I was about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it'd be very interesting just because I think I share his affinity for like the hard sciences of things and stuff like that. But I have, as I've gotten older, I have become a lot less like militant about it and much more open to that it's very much okay for people to think differently than me. But about 10 years ago, I was like militantly like, just science says this, and if you don't believe it, you're stupid. And so I think it'd actually be interesting to talk to him.
No, absolutely. Because here's the thing. I flat out respect his choice to say what he has to say. And I believe in the community enough to understand that they don't have to agree with him in order to be fucking respectful. So anybody that doesn't want to be respectful to anybody that's guest on this channel can fuck right off. But that's the whole point, is it's like you can have a different perspective, and I can sit here and be like, oh, okay, well, that's how you feel. I get it. It's just funny. I just thought it would be a funny matchup. But he was super fucking intelligent. He actually backed up everything that he said with facts. Brought links and everything, and I appreciated that. I don't feel like anybody needs to bring the sauce, as some people call it, or proof or receipts. But he did. Without prompting, he just did, because he was like, I know people are going to ask me for this, so here it is. I don't feel like anybody should feel like they have to. If it's your opinion, it's your opinion. Opinions don't have to be based on fact. Opinions can be based on feelings. It can be based on anything, and it still deserves respect. In other words, don't be a dick to people just because you don't agree with them. It's pretty simple. My rules are pretty simple, and no spooters. Like, come on. But no, my daughter just came in and checked the dryer twice, apparently, in less like 3 minutes, for no apparent reason, other than she's obviously wanting my attention. So I appreciate you being here.
I am in a similar position right now.
I love it. Everybody in chat, thank you so much for being here. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you always. Anytime you want to come on. We say this all the time, but with you, we specifically mean it. I'm putting that out there. we mean it when we say it otherwise, but for you, double time, because you are in that special category, right? Like if Truth wants to jump on, got you. If Nick wants to jump on, got you. And if you want to jump on, we got you. Cool.
I think, yeah, we should do this again when you are moved and all that stuff's done, and maybe we'll get a real exciting one. We'll do a deep dive on my dark sordid past.
I'll like get a soundboard and be like, ding, 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 ding. Like, let's go. Let's get ready to rumble. Like, let's do that. That'd be fun.
All right.
But
Thanks again.
chat, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thanks.
Remember, if you don't know who Wolf is, all of you know who he is. I know that. But if you're listening and you don't know who he is, check the description. Go check out his content. Check out his music. Check out his songs. Check out every graphic you've ever seen on this channel. A disclaimer, not every graphic. When it was ratchet.
The good ones?
Ratchet as fuck. When it got cool, that's Wolf. Like, that's not me. All the intro, or the promo videos are him as well. The music playing in most of them, unless it's specifically the artist, is also him. So, just saying, check him out. Don't sleep on this guy. He's an amazing guy. He's a good friend. We love him to pieces. I know that if Skullz was here, he would say the same thing. Truth would say the same thing. Keto would say the same thing. We all love you to pieces, man. Honestly.
I appreciate you guys so much.
Thank you for everything you do and being who you are. If you haven't joined his Discord, sucks. Join mine. You can find a link, I think. If not, let me know. I'll give it to you. So, yeah. I'm about to have a good night because I'm going to read a book. And then I'm going to go clean. Haha, fun. That about does it for us, right?
Good night, everybody. Thank you for coming. And thank you for having me.
So long. Farewell. I bid to say adieu. Adieu. Adieu to you. And okay, I'm done. Have a good night, y'all.